Ain't the beer cold? Live from the studio. Dude, my headphones kicked in as soon as I said that, too.
Beautiful. I'm Eric Glazer.
I'm Jimmy Selesky.
And it is Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day, everybody.
I was trying to think of an American. Yeah, I'm drinking Black Russians on Memorial Day, dude. My bad.
Un-American.
Un-American
as hell. I'm having a nice little Tom Petty right now.
There you go. Tom Petty, that is Memorial Day radio, dude. It's like Tom Petty, really just that, really. I feel like that Tom Petty, Eagles are pretty American.
Gin, tonic, and lemonade.
Mm-hmm. I took a trick out of your book this week. I notice every time we do the podcast, my microphone is like up here. I look like a jackass.
Yeah.
I got it down here now.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I thought I didn't notice it until the podcast we did where you shaved your face, and then I noticed like you literally just like hiding your chin and face behind the microphone the whole fucking show.
I didn't want anybody to see my weak ass jawline, dude.
It was so funny, and I didn't bring it up because I didn't want to be like a dick, but I think
you noticed.
There's enough. I noticed.
That was shying away, dude. I logged into the Instagram last night, the podcast Instagram, and I saw that you DM'd somebody. Quit trying to scam, boy. And I was like, yo, you fucking fried that guy. But what was funny about that is we followed him. We spam followed him a year ago. And he reached out to us and we, of course, ignored it.
Yeah.
And then he tried to spam us.
He came back to try to scam us, dude. Well, because like he sent us a thing. Because I saw the DM. And I was like, for whatever reason, I got a notification. I usually do, but I rarely ever check. And I checked that one. And I looked at it and I saw him, that first message, and I was like, oh, there's like a fan. And he's like 2 years after that first message, it was like, hey, check out this picture I made of you guys. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll click on this. So I clicked on it, and then it was like a phishing page for us to, it was like log back into Instagram to see this image. And it's like, nah, dude. I was doing this before you were born, probably.
I was so
stoked. I
would
fish so many MySpace pages when I was in middle school. Come on, man.
I was so stoked when I saw it that I wanted to DM too from the podcast as well and be like, hell yeah. And I thought that'd be so confusing.
Hell yeah. And then dash Jim. Well, I sent the message, stop trying to scam us, boy. And then I reported him for phishing and then blocked him.
You reported him?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. See, that's a thing. Sometimes I want to let people know when I'm getting spammed, but sometimes I just don't care. Like they'll just spam me, but I feel like it's like your due diligence to report, to like say to them like, yo, you're hacked, because it's always something like almost believable. Like a lot of times they're like, yo, is this you in this pic? And the only way I know it's not them is because I haven't talked to them like 2 years or something like that, and I'm like, why would they message me this? That? But if it was like you that messaged me that, I'd easily click on that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it would get me.
Yeah, and people are just trying to come after us, man. We have too big of an influence now with our almost 12K Instagram followers.
Almost 12K and declining. Dude, speaking of influence, did you hear about Joe Rogan is going exclusive with Spotify starting next year?
I did. Yeah.
That's big time, dude.
Well, no, starting in September.
Well, I think the audio is going exclusive on Spotify in September, but he's still going to have the video version on YouTube, which is like...
Well, so what I heard from
Joe Rogan.
No, I saw like a clip of Alex Jones talking about it, because he's like all in on like fuck YouTube, all that shit.
Hell yeah.
But like I was watching the video on YouTube, so I don't know how that works. Like
I don't know how that works either. He's like, they banned me from YouTube. I'm like, dude, I'm watching this on YouTube right now.
I'm on a channel called Banned Video, and then it's your content. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Censored TV on YouTube.
But he had like a whole thing. He had like a whole video talking about it. He's like, and Joe called me the day of. He said, you know what? I've been thinking about it a lot. And, I've been trying to have these doctors on to talk about coronavirus, and YouTube stopping me. And they're banning doctors on YouTube, saying this isn't a big deal, blah, 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 blah. And
I believe that, because I tried to push a couple things. And we're also misinformation.
But what... And so he got on this big long call with Joe Rogan. You should just watch the video if you haven't seen it. Anyone listening or watching right now, just 'cause it's like pretty entertaining. He's like an entertaining character. He
For sure.
mostly never says anything. Well, no, he says a lot of stuff that's come to be right, but
Yeah.
I digress.
Everything he says is true, but
Basically, I think from what I heard was the podcast, like all 11 years or whatever of his podcast are going to Spotify exclusively. They're going to be doing a video podcast on Spotify, and then Joe Rogan can put like 20 minutes of it on YouTube or something.
I didn't know that
Probably
there was...
in like clips or something.
Yeah,
You know,
he
like
said-
whatever he does now.
He said there's going to be clips. Dude, I didn't know that Spotify had video.
Yeah, well, because it sucks. Because when I'm on Spotify, sometimes if I do like new this week playlist or whatever, like whatever curated Spotify playlist they're like trying to shove in your face every week, it'll like start. If I'm in my car, it'll start playing song, and then all of a sudden it'll switch to like a music video. And I'm like, dude, I'm on fucking data. Why are you sending me a 4K music video to my car where I'm not even supposed to look at it?
Dude, I really do think that I think I like Spotify. Obviously, it's taken over as the primary streaming platform. But there is something about their algorithm that just I don't like. Like, there's something like if for whatever reason, I've never really gotten accustomed to Spotify, so I can't really speak on, maybe I'm just doing it wrong. I feel like a boomer on Spotify. Like, I'm like, how do I listen to this song? But like, I really do feel like Pandora's algorithm is way better. And so I'm not really like well versed in Spotify. So when I first heard that Joe Rogan was going to Spotify, I was like, I guess I'm never watching Joe Rogan again because I don't know how to use it. I don't know how to use
I
it.
will say the Spotify algorithm has gotten a lot better.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Because, like, recently I'll just be playing songs. Like, I put on, like, the new Gunna album when it came out. But then, like, when it was over, it just started playing songs like the album. And I was like, okay, these are good. These are good. A lot of these, like, I had already heard, but, like, listening to them again, I'm like, all right, these are good songs.
Well, at first when I heard that he did it, my first thought was, oh no, Joe sold out. Because I know that I believe he previously turned down an offer like I feel like I heard this like a year ago that Spotify offered him a bunch of money and he turned it down. I may or may not have heard that, but I feel like I did. And then this week when I saw it, that was my immediate thought, like, fuck, he sold out. Because you got to imagine, dude, he probably got so much money for that. I mean, he's the most listened to podcast in the world. I mean, Spotify probably paid him a ridiculous amount of money.
And also what I've heard is they didn't buy him. They leased his podcast for 4 years. Like, they don't own anything about it. Like, they just have the exclusive rights to broadcast it for the next 3 to 4 years.
And but also part of me feels like, because I think he touched upon
It's basically like when XM bought Stern back in the day.
When XM bought what?
Like Howard Stern.
Oh, true. I
like they just took the biggest fish out of the pond and locked him into their like subscription based whatever.
I feel like part of it on Joe's end, and maybe he covered this in the conversation with Alex Jones. I think a lot of it may have had to do with the fact that YouTube is doing all that censorship shit. You know, I think he mentioned that like. It was just because like a lot of his videos, like if you ever watch his podcast on YouTube, he's always like, oh, you know, we can't show this, we can't do that, we can't say that because they'll demonetize us and things like that. And I think with Spotify, it kind of allows him to almost be more free. You know, because YouTube is going crazy with that shit.
Yeah.
Dude.
And I mean, and if he put all that stuff in the contract, like Alex Jones was saying, like Alex Jones included himself in some of the stuff that he was like, hey, he put in the contract that he can have me on the show. I'm going to be the first guest on September 1st, 2020. I'm on the first Joe Rogan on Spotify.
The Alex Jones clause of the contract.
Yeah, dude.
Section
That's what
A.
he was saying.
I believe it, dude. I'm sure he does want to have Alex. Dude, the Alex Jones episode of Joe Rogan, like that was like one of the best podcasts I ever watched in my life. Even though it was like insane, I remember watching it and be like, this is fucking sick. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, it was great. It was beautiful. It was all you could ever want and more.
But yeah, that shit. I'm kind of stoked about it now because I feel like YouTube's taken a huge hit from that because they kind of have been coasting off of the fact that like they are the most popular media. I think YouTube's probably the most popular all around like medium for consumption of music, videos, anything like that. And but they've been cracking down so hard, and like Facebook, like Facebook. I tried to share a meme last week. Not even share. I made a meme, and this is when I get really mad. Is when I go through all the effort of making.
Put in the
meme.
effort to make a meme.
Yeah, and it was like not even a good meme, so I'm not that mad. But it was like, you know how like this week's trend was like the meme was like my summer plans, and it's like a picture of something from like a movie or something, and then like 2020, and then it's like whatever in that movie killed that thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I made one that was Jeffrey Epstein, my summer plans, and then the second panel said not 2020, and it was just a picture of Jeffrey Epstein as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he didn't kill himself.
I saw that meme, and then I also saw that Facebook flagged it saying there's no sufficient evidence to prove that Hillary or Bill Clinton killed Jeffrey Epstein.
I know. I was like,
And
dude,
there was
you are
nothing about that in that picture or meme.
It's like, dude, I didn't even mention the Clintons in this one, dude.
Unless you like snuck a very tiny like pixel-sized Hillary in that picture with a knife. Like I didn't see that.
Like a Fight Club level, like flash, like boom,
Yeah.
boom, a picture of
A flash
Hillary Clinton.
of Hillary Clinton superimposed on a penis.
But like that was beyond. Facebook's getting ridiculous. I've had my fair share of run-ins with Facebook, but that was like, dude, you guys aren't even hiding the ball anymore. Like I just made a meme that had nothing to do with the Clintons, and you were just like, Hillary, they didn't do that. What are you talking about? Why would you even say that? The Clintons didn't kill Epstein. I'm like, dude, calm down. We
Dude,
know they
fucking,
did.
They're raging. The bots are raging.
Yeah, I and then like that's the other, so this week I had and this is why Spotify's kind of on my shit list this week. I was supposed to release a song, which is a very rare occurrence for me, but we just started recording stuff in the studio, and I've been planning to release a song every 2 months. So we just finished that song Girls Like You, which is kind of like mostly my project that I got John to record drums on. It was a lot of old recordings from like stuff I had done before, and we just kind of mishmash it together, got it produced, got it mastered by Sean Mercer and
it
Matt
sounds
Schulman at Mobtown, and it sounds good. And so I figured, I'll release it. I was supposed to release it on Friday night at midnight. And I log on the day of just to like get my Spotify link, and I had already put like $400 worth into like submissions to playlists and stuff like that, and it was set all to be released. And then I'm looking for my Spotify, and I can't find it. And so I go on to Spotify for Artists, which if anybody's like not familiar with how this shit works, because I'm really not either, as you'll be able to tell as this story progresses. When you distribute music to Spotify, you go through a publishing medium, for instance, like TuneCore or CD Baby or one of those things, DistroKid or whatever. And I go through TuneCore. And so it's kind of like the same concept as like the RSS feed, how we release the podcast on SoundCloud, and then it aggregates to all the different streaming platforms via the RSS feed. So TuneCore aggregates to all the music streaming platforms, Spotify, Pandora, stuff like that. So you really don't necessarily have that much control or any direct control over your Spotify profile. Like you have one, but then you have to claim that profile. So like I can search myself on Spotify and find myself, but I can't like edit it until I claim that page. So I just signed up for Spotify for Artists this week. I log on to Spotify for Artists, and when I initially did it, it gives you a drop-down menu that says select your page, and I drop down. I found myself way, way, way at the bottom, obviously. There's like 14 sophomores apparently. I'm like, dude, how many fucking sophomores are there? So I find myself, and I'm like, okay, cool. So then a week later, Friday, I log on to find myself, and I get onto my Spotify for Artists page, and I look at the right tab, and I notice that 3 people are listening right now. And that immediately struck a chord with me, because I was like, this is off. Something's off. Nobody listens to my Spotify. Something's going on here. So that's when it kind of triggers me. I'm like, wait, somebody's listening? What's going on? What song are they listening to?
Yeah, why?
How is this happening? So then I look at my profile picture, and it's like this pink, hazy, like beach scene or something like that. And I'm like, that's not me. And but it still says sophomore. And then I go through the music tracking list, and there's like 13 songs that just says I released an album this week. And there's like 13 songs that aren't mine. And at the very bottom are like my 3 songs I had on Spotify. So it turns out, so this other band called Sophomore this week.
You're both linking to the same Spotify account?
Here's what's fucked up. This other band named Sophomore just released an album this week. They released an album, or last week, on May 10th. And I guess when they released their album, it somehow just merged it onto my account. So now we're the same band. So
Weird.
and so like it's their page now, but I have control over it. So it's technically my page, but it's all their stuff, like their profile picture, their information, but then like my 3 songs at the bottom. My page has completely disappeared. So I had to like go onto all my playlist submissions and push them back and stuff. I was really worried that I was going to have to lose $400 over it. I had to delete my song to be released. I had to reschedule it because if I would have released it, it would have gone on their Spotify and all my millions and millions of streams would have gone to them.
Yeah,
so I was like,
that.
Fuck that. So I had to
they
cancel
would have gone
that.
to you eventually because you owned the account, but
Maybe, but that's the thing. So
but they're going to be able to fight it. They're like, look at how many of our songs are on it, and look how many of his songs are on it.
It's like we have 12, he has 3. The only time he's ever had listeners on his page was when he noticed that it was now our page. And we just came out last week. This guy's a fucking loser. No wonder you deleted his account. But so, I go through the process of, it's all, here's the thing that really bugs me about these websites like that, like Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. These companies are huge. These companies are humongous. I mean, Facebook, Google, Instagram, Spotify, these are some of the biggest companies in the world. Yet, you cannot talk to somebody if you have an issue. They have like an FAQ. They have like, they tried their damnedest to not even let you submit your own complaint.
Yeah.
Like you click like contact us and then it makes you go through like 7 like, are you sure you didn't read the FAQ? You should probably read the FAQ. And I'm like, dude, I just want to tell you what's happening with me or whatever. And so I bypass all that stuff and I finally get to a thing where they send me an email, a bot email, and it says, please select the issue. And the 2 options were someone's songs are on my account or some of my songs are on someone else's account. And
so
I was like,
they know about this issue.
Yeah, they know about this issue, but I was like, where's the button that says all of my songs and my entire existence are on this person's account? Where's that button? So I just went with the closest thing to it, and I selected my 3 songs, and it's like, great, we'll look into it. Should take about 10 to 15 business days. And I'm just like, dude, I don't have that kind of time. I mean, I do have that kind of time. I have all that time, but it's
it takes
like, why?
like 10 minutes to figure out that both like your songs are not the same band as that other band.
Yeah,
Like, it takes 10 minutes.
It's like, well, these guys are noticeably better. This guy is clearly not that same sophomore.
Is that a guitar riff from 2015 that I hear?
But
Did
it's
you go
like,
to a time machine and record that? What happened?
it's frustrating because you're looking at this company, and I understand it with SoundCloud. SoundCloud is like not.
They're a failing business.
They're a failing business. I understand that if I have an issue with SoundCloud, they're kind of like, dude, your guess is
Dude,
as
I
good
don't
as
even know
mine.
why I have a job anymore.
I'm amazed at this. But Spotify, dude, you don't have one single. You can't like link up with some call center in India so I can at least call and feel like I'm being like dealt with. And like it's just impossible to get in contact with them. And so now I'm sitting here and I have no clue. And I'm just thinking like maybe I should just delete all the shit off Spotify and start fresh. It's not like I had that much traffic in the first place and we're just getting stuff off the ground. But it's annoying that I have to resort to that. And it's annoying that you have no recourse. And that's the same thing we discussed before about like Twitter and Instagram, how like Kyrie, when he was on the podcast a while ago, it was a good podcast. You guys should listen to that. It was like 20 episodes ago at this point, which is crazy to think about. But he had like 4 different accounts banned. And you have no ability to really appeal it. It's like you can submit an appeal, but it doesn't matter. People are making. If you get to a certain point, you can be making you can be making a lot of money if you're a popular channel on YouTube or something like that, or on Spotify. And the fact that they can just kind of eliminate your entire existence with zero recourse. A lot of times you're not like we've had pictures taken down from Instagram that didn't violate any guidelines. And it's just some bot that just takes it down. And it's like, that one picture we had was like one of our best trafficking posts. And they just removed it. And it's like, and then you try.
The almost naked girl. Is that the one you're talking about?
The almost naked girl. The almost naked girl. But like, it's on her account perfectly fine. And like, I demonstrated before, all I did was take a screenshot of my Discover page, which was all posts from other people, screenshotted that, posted it up just to prove a point, and lo and behold, they deleted that too. So it's like, dude, when I click my search bar, all these pictures come up, but if I post it, it's a violation of nudity and stuff like that. It's ridiculous. And so you have no recourse, and these companies get away with doing whatever the hell they want. One of Dom's friends had a really trafficked TikTok page. I don't know what she did. I don't know what people do on TikTok. I still refuse to get one.
Yeah.
Just because I feel too old. To me, getting a TikTok would be like going to B Lounge. That's a Towson reference there.
Yeah.
Like just going to like a college bar on a Friday night. Like I don't belong there. I don't belong on TikTok. You know,
The
your brother
college
gets away
bar
with it
that
because
all underage people go to.
yeah, exactly. And so, but she, you know, she had like 300,000 followers, and then essentially people can just flag your page just because they don't like you or like just to fuck with you. And then they'll just, if you get enough flags, they just remove your page. And so it's like now she lost 300,000 followers, and she can't even appeal that and be like, wait, I actually did nothing wrong. You can't even talk to somebody. I actually did hear TikTok. Your brother's neighbor was telling me this, that government employees aren't allowed to have it installed on their phone because it's a Chinese app, and
Yeah.
it's like it like
They're like afraid of security risks and
yeah,
shit.
it like it's known that it like harvests all your information, which like so does
I
every
mean,
other app.
That's what they're saying about Zoom too, but we're still fucking doing the podcast on it.
Yeah, and plus we put
At
all
least
this
we
shit
have
out.
like the people monitoring our Zoom, watching it. You know, so
Yeah.
like it's like two
That's-
extra listeners.
We got 2 listeners in China who are like, these guys are pretty good. These guys are pretty good. I'll take that. We're doing this for public consumption.
We're doing this for the People's Republic.
Exactly. We're doing this for that. So I was actually thinking about this. Does anybody still do virtual happy hours? Because remember, like when the quarantines first broke out, that was like all the rage. Everybody had
Yeah.
like Instagram pictures of them,
Let's go
screenshots.
hang out with all of our friends, and then everyone's like, "Oh yeah, no wait, we're depressed. We should just watch TV and YouTube and
Yeah, I
fuck
feel like
up our sleep schedule."
either everyone just gave up on the entire, like they were like, you know what, I'm not even gonna try to hang on to a social life. I'm just gonna, or I think for most people, even like Mahedi, I hung out with Mahedi the other night, and just me and him. He like was tripping on acid earlier in the day, and I didn't really notice other than like every conversation we'd have, he'd be like in the middle of a sentence and be like, oh my God, I just completely lost my train of thought. And I was like, dude, that happens to me constantly under zero influence, so it's whatever.
Oh my god.
But like, I feel like what I'm getting at is like, I feel like everybody has either decided to just completely let go of their social life, or just kind of hang out with people super close to you and just like say whatever, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like most people are doing. Cause like, I haven't seen anybody Zooming, or at least no one Zoomed me. Maybe everybody's Zooming each other and nobody decided to invite me anymore.
Yeah, I think that's the case with me too.
That you haven't been inviting me to Zooms.
No, that I haven't been invited
You haven't
to
been
Zooms
invited to
either. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, dude. I just feel like it's funny. I feel like virtual happy hours were like the Pokemon Go of 2020. Like everybody was doing it, and then all of a sudden it's just like, it's not happening
Yeah.
anymore.
Then parents got onto it, and then, you know,
Parents ruined it.
parents ruined it, dude.
Also, it just wasn't. It wasn't cool. And I feel like, okay, so like when we first started doing this podcast remotely, it took a second to kind of get into the groove of like figuring out how to carry on a conversation remotely. But
Yeah.
now we've become so used to it that it becomes normal. But I will say, when you hang out with a person in person, it's like crazy. It's like, yo, this is what it's supposed to be like.
Yeah.
Like I can actually see your facial expressions in real time. There's not like a fucking lag. Your voice doesn't crap out every 3 seconds. It's really
Yeah,
made me
it was
appreciate
weird.
it.
I did Matt put together a show at Magoobies on last Saturday.
I heard about that.
And
Matt told me.
Yeah, so it was like live streamed on Facebook and Instagram, and like we all just took turns. That we had like 2 mics, and we just kept like cleaning the mic and swapping them out for each comic. And then everyone just did their set, and there was like, you know, there's probably like 8 of us in there at max. So we did that show, and going back into comedy after like a 2-month break is terrible.
I would imagine so.
Especially with like doing, it was just, yeah, it was rough. And I had a mask on.
Well,
I
you
had a
guys are
mask
used to
on
only
during
having
my
8 people in
set.
the audience, so that wasn't that difficult.
Yeah, so that was, you know, that was kind of comforting.
All
So it was like, oh,
comedians.
there's like back. But I was like traumatized because I had a mask on. I like stupidly didn't take the mask off. I did my whole set in a mask, and
Nice,
it kept
dude.
like going up and down on my face. because I was talking so much, and because of that, it like opened up the top of the mask, so then hot air from my mouth just kept fogging up my glasses nonstop. And then the stage lights were on the glasses, completely blocking 100% of my vision, and then just like boiling my face. I'm like saunaing my eyeballs and just like trying to remember shit to do like comedically. And yeah, it was a rough one. It was a rough one, but it was fun. It was fun to see everyone. It was weird to like just have a group of people talking in a circle again.
Did everybody have
That was
like
interesting.
new
Everyone
material?
had masks. Everyone had gloves. Yeah, mostly everyone had like new material and stuff.
I would imagine so. I couldn't
then,
even
I mean,
imagine
like,
doing
you know,
a gig right now.
Yeah, it was weird, man. It was weird.
Like, yeah,
it was,
Mike
It was
Mattis.
fun. It was fun to like be able to do it again momentarily, and like not in like a regular Zoom type of show format. Like we're actually like on a stage doing comedy in front of 5 people max at a time, because people kept leaving. People, they're still comedians, so you know, people
Yeah.
are just walking in and out of the room, not
Yeah.
paying attention. You know, all on their phone doing your set.
I feel you on the mask troubles thing, dude. I have
that,
too many
that
like
threw me for a loop.
I have too
And
many
I had
nervous.
gloves on. The gloves weren't bad. I was very sweaty afterwards, but the mask just completely fucked me up.
That's one thing I have not done. Actually, that's one of the things I have not done. I have not incorporated the glove usage into my daily intake of procedures, and I also haven't done the visor thing. You have a built-in visor because of your glasses, so you
Yeah,
already
exactly.
your eyes are always protected. My eyes are raw dog in the world every day, and I intend to keep it that way. Although I will say I do look forward to eventually needing glasses when I'm older. I don't know
you'll
why.
Get them. You'll get them. My dad has glasses. He just uses them for like reading though.
Yeah, I
you're
was gonna
lucky.
say.
You're lucky because like a pair of like my glasses or whatever, like probably be like the cheapest pair, probably like $50. You know, but like reading glasses, dude, you can get those for like $5. That's what
Here's
my dad
a question
does.
for you: do people that already wear so I feel like getting reading glasses is like just a normal step in every adult's life at least for guys. I feel like at least for men, our vision just kind of after 40, our vision, you just need reading glasses to read shit up close. Do
Yeah,
people that
and also
already
I think you're just like not constantly training your vision at that point.
We're not reading.
I don't know. You're not reading. You're also not like, I don't know. You like become more sedentary and you like don't go outside and you're not fucking like hunting anymore or like, I don't know.
dude, I'm
It's
not
hard.
even
You gotta work out your eyes. They're fucking a muscle, dude.
I'm not even convinced I could read a page of a book right now. And not visually, just mentally. I don't think I could focus
Yeah.
that long. I think my mind is into-
Concentrationally.
Concentrationally, I don't think I could do it. But like if you already have glasses, do you also get like reading glasses that you put over top of those to read?
No.
Or do you just keep your regular glasses?
Keep your regular glasses or you take them off, because like I'm like nearsighted, so I could potentially just take my glasses off, but also like at the beach I can read a book without glasses.
Nearsighted, this always confused me. Nearsighted means you can't see far,
Yeah,
and farsighted means you can't see near.
exactly.
That's
'Cause you're
always fucked with my
farsighted,
head. You're
You can
like
see
you can see
far.
far.
and nearsighted you can see near.
I always thought it was the opposite. I was like, you're nearsight. I don't know. For some reason, it just made it more intuitive sense for you to tell me what your disability is, not what your ability is.
Yeah.
That'd be like if I couldn't walk and I was like, I'm arm centric or something like that. You know what I mean?
My dad's my dad and brother are farsighted, and I don't think my dad needed glasses his entire life though until like now. He just has reading glasses, but like he just managed and like didn't need them. Because most of the stuff you need to see is far. Like if we're, you know, if you need to see something near, you have time to squint your eyes or like adjust and read. But if you're driving and you can't see far, dude, you're fucked.
That's true.
Like I can't drive without glasses.
But if you can't see near when you're driving,
I can drive without glasses if like I know where I'm going. Like, because you can see lights. Like, you don't have to read a light. You can see the color. But, like, if I'm trying to follow directions, I can't fucking read a street sign from my car, even if I'm, like, the first in line at the intersection.
You're just listening explicitly to the fucking directions coming out of your phone. Like, turn right
Yeah.
now. You just turn right.
I'm,
You don't
like,
even know if it's going.
under the intersection, looking out of my moonroof, just fucking, like, reading it from there, like, finally. You're like, oh, fuck, I was supposed to turn.
I might get a pair of fake reading glasses just for the aesthetic, dude.
Just get frames, dude. Do
Just
the
so-
fucking do the NFL like whatever the shit is whenever they get all signed or whatever. Where they have like, I don't know. It was a big thing a couple years ago where they were popping out 3D glasses for movie theaters and just using the frames.
True, dude.
Just go back to that.
They do 3D movies anymore?
Yeah. That's like their big like markup for ticket prices.
And you still have to wear the glasses? We haven't bypassed that technology yet?
No, that
That's
would be
ridiculous.
super expensive because like
You'd have to get 3D contacts.
Well, in screen 3D projection, it would have to basically, the projector screen at the movie theater would have to be a panel. It would have to have like 2 layers of LCD or whatever LED panels to be able to do like the 2 3D signals for the optical effect. Like the
Fair.
way that they work now is like in the projection booth, whenever a 3D movie is loaded up, they'll play the 3D signal from the projector and then like a device will kick up in front of the screen or in front of the lens on the projector and then it'll split the picture into 2 separate things that the left and the right on the 3D glasses will pick up differently.
Wow. Was The Matrix reloaded in 3D? Because I watched that last night. And my
They
initial
might
thought...
have done like a 3D release of it, but I don't think so initially. But they have like the 3D effect like with the bullet time and shit, so like you think it's 3D because like the camera's moving around kind of in a weird way.
Dude, that fight scene was unbelievable in The Matrix. But unfortunately, as I get older, I become so cynical about things, and I don't consider it cynicism. I just consider it like realism, and it's hard for me. As I get older, the harder it gets for me to suspend, what do they call that? Your suspension of disbelief or whatever, like where you have to like take yourself out of reality to appreciate it. And like when Neo's fighting like the 1,000 guys in that courtyard or whatever, my first thought was like, dude,
Oh, like all the Agent Smiths.
yeah, it's like,
That
dude,
that fight looks so fake now. Like looking back on it now, I remember seeing that fight in the movie back then and being like, God damn, how did they do this? Like
Yeah.
this is crazy. But also I watched that on like a CRT TV. Like I watched it on like a tube TV,
oh shit.
the lowest resolution possible, but like stretched to 32 inches. Being like, damn, this is crazy.
I can almost see what's happening. Well, you know, it is still crazy because you have to consider what they had available at the time. You know, it's like
Oh,
the
for
fact that they
sure.
were able to do that in 2003 is still what sticks with me. But also, I'm like, dude, there's no way not a single one of these guys didn't have a gun. There's 1,000 of them, and they're all just fist fighting.
But he can
Why?
dodge the bullets, you know?
So you think, oh, if he's quick enough to dodge a bullet, then I might as well just throw punches because they're
Might
way
as well
fucking
just like
faster.
pile up. They're just trying to pile up on him. They're using numbers. Also, he was like by the end of that movie, he was like basically a god. Like
That's
he flew at the end of the movie.
Oh, true.
If he really wanted to, he could just fly away from all 100 of the Agent Smiths.
Yeah, that was the other thing. He gets in this long ass fight, and then the agent on the wire goes, "All right, get out of there." And he's just like, "All right," and he just goes out of there. I'm like, so you just stayed around to whip these
Yeah.
guys' asses just for fun? Just for
fucking
like
buying
10
time,
straight
dude.
minutes, just clocking motherfuckers. And then they were like, "All right."
fool the AI.
I didn't really pay attention to the plot. Mehedi and I were in deep discussion for the entirety of the night. Mehedi, I'm sure, doesn't remember any of it, and I almost don't remember any of it too, because I tried to like compensate with him being on acid with me smoking a ton of weed and Jewel rips and beer. White Claws, actually. He likes White Claws. So I was white girl wasted last night.
There you
But
go.
we turned on Planet Earth, and I would be willing to say that there's probably no more agreeable show when it comes to just a show you can pop on at any time that everybody's down with, Planet Earth has got to be that show. It's just so dope. It's so high definition that it looks fake.
Oh yeah.
Like
It's
when they
crazy.
show close-ups of these animals, I'm like, there is no way that thing looks like that in real life.
Yeah, some of the shit is like, how did they even film this? Because like the narrator is like, we've never captured one of these on camera, and then right now
then
on
we
the
did.
screen, there's like 3 of them just fucking chilling.
It's like, what were you guys doing before?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mahedi was saying that some of the shit was like set up like that. The one iconic scene from the most recent Planet Earth
With
was
like
where
the lizard and snakes.
exactly, you knew
Yeah.
it. You knew it. Everybody
yeah.
knows that scene. Mahedi was like, dude, they probably just dropped that lizard in there. I was like, dude, that would be awful if they did that.
Yeah.
If they were just
I-
dropping lizards in there and just
I thought that one was fake, and then I saw like the behind the scenes of them shooting that scene, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, I believe it now. It's just crazy, like, because like what else do you think they get footage wise that like, because like they get all these crazy like hype moments, but it's like, there's like hundreds of other things that happen that they got
Yeah.
on film that like isn't gonna see the light of day at all.
yeah, like, dude, I got this lizard taking a shit. It's like, dude, nobody wants to see that in high definition.
Yeah, honestly, like Planet Earth Jackass style.
It just I'm waiting for them to come out with a new one, but that show was boggling my mind last night watching it. And I know that's like the most typical cliche fuck. Dude, we got fucking stoned. We watched Planet Earth. It was fucking crazy. But I kept on saying I wanted to go to Europe or Hawaii or something, and Mahedi kept on blowing my vibe and being like, dude, you're not gonna get to travel for a while. And I was like, I know. Just saying.
But I want to.
I would like to go to Christmas Island.
All I'm saying is I want to go.
Yeah,
Stop
I know,
ruining it, dude.
Like pre-pandemic, I would say I want to travel, and I still wasn't gonna be able to travel because I didn't have the money. And you could have just been like, dude, you're still not gonna travel because you're fucking broke. You're a bitch loser. And I'd be like, all right, dude, a man can dream. And it's funny because he kept on referring to things as like pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, and I thought that was interesting because I was like, that is such a thing.
Yeah.
Like that is definitely.
I mean, it's like
such a
pre
thing.
9/11, post 9/11. Like
Yeah.
so much stuff changed from that, like in just air travel. I mean, that was the
And-
main thing that got affected by that, but
primarily air travel. But the way he was saying it, I was like, damn, dude, that's true. You're making me trip that you're saying that because it's so like
let me
I feel
smoke
like
some more weed and hit this jewel real quick. You go deeper.
yeah,
You're
I
another
didn't get
level of inception under me.
yeah.
Gotta catch up.
I kind of wished I did acid with him, but at first he was saying like he was gonna do it with like his like frat bros, and I was just like, dude, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do acid with your freaking frat brothers. There's just no way.
Yeah.
I got to be comfortable around the people, and I already feel like I'm not cool when I'm hanging out with frat bros, even if
Yeah.
those particular frat bros happen to be 28 years old.
Yeah. Like, why are they still going by frat bros at 28?
Like, dude, you cannot be 28 years old and call somebody your brother. You got to let it go. You got to let it go. It's like if I still call people from the wrestling team my teammate. It's like, dude, you stopped wrestling when you were 17, dude. They're not your teammate. You're chilling at a bar. Calm down. But maybe that's just something we don't understand, dude. Maybe we're just jealous because we
I
don't
guess we're
have it.
jealous, dude. We're GDIs, dude.
Well, we're real life brothers.
We're real life brothers.
Like, I wish I could be like, yeah, my brother Eric. Just
Yeah.
say that, and people be like, "Whoa, were you guys in a frat?" And be like, "No, but like, we're close."
yeah, we're good friends.
You know how like you have like an Uncle Steve who's not your uncle?
Yeah.
That's my brother Eric.
Same thing, dude.
I feel like black people can do that, and white people cannot. That's one of the things I highly envy about black people. One of them. One of the many
Number
things.
2.
Number 2, I wish I could play basketball. Not even well, just acceptably. I wish I could play basketball at all. Would be nice.
Yeah. I just remember like senior year when we all started playing basketball at like Ridgely and shit. And like we'd be playing and then like fucking people would get off work and head to the hoops. And then we'd just get like stomped by like a 5-man team of just like dudes that got off like their like morning shift bagging groceries and shit. It's like, God damn it, dude.
Well, the problem is that I focus on a sport heavily, but I didn't focus on a sport that was applicable in adult life. You don't just go to the wrestling courts after work and just have pickup wrestling matches. I mean, you can
practice.
you can
Well, I guess you can practice wrestling by
you can
yourself.
like be in like a club.
Well, you can't just like go to a wall and bang a fucking wrestling out against it.
Yeah, like Lucas has like his basketball shoes and some shorts in his trunk. I don't have like my fucking singlet in my passenger seat,
Singlet. You have a bunch of fucking mats back there.
headgear and shit, a mouthpiece just in case some fucking wrestling breaks out. Just in case some wrestling breaks out and I got to be prepared. Like, hold up, I got my
got
athletic
Gatorade
cup in the
mix.
back seat. But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't prepare for that. But yeah, that's one of the things. It's whatever, dude. It's whatever.
Yeah. What'd you do for Memorial Day today?
I'll tell you what I did today, dude. I had a bagel with lox. You know how it's salmon. It's
Yeah.
salmon, but when you have
It's
it on a
very
bagel,
New
it's
York.
lox. Very New
A
York.
New
very,
York treat.
Well, I thought New York at first, but then later on in the day, because I had eaten that bagel with lox and cream cheese, later on in the day I had a sudden urge to eat a tuna fish sandwich.
Ooh.
And so for breakfast I had a lox bagel, and for dinner I had a tuna fish sandwich. Ultimately, I was just very Jewish today.
Yeah.
It's a very Jewish thing, right? Tuna fish
pretty
sandwiches,
Jewish. Yeah.
and bagels. I was thinking
I know
about that.
lox. Lox is a Jewish thing for sure.
Bagels are a Jewish thing, but I didn't realize that. It's like one of those things that, like, whenever we were doing like our Jewish
Yeah,
impression,
because it's
like,
leavened. It's like leavened because like their whole shit is like bread that's not. There's no yeast in it, except bagels are that exception. I guess I don't know.
dude, bagels
I guess they're
have,
boiled. They're somehow that somehow cleans it. That makes it
I don't know
kosher.
what a bagel. I just thought it was like a bread donut. I didn't know there was anything different. I think one time I watched how bagels are made on How It's Made.
Bagels are just bread dough that's boiled and then baked.
But I think that might be one of my favorite cuisines. And it's weird how you have like certain cravings for things. It's weird how like I have like my favorite foods that, like, if you ask me like, yo, Jim, what's your favorite food? But like when you're really asking someone what your favorite food is, you're not really asking them what's your favorite food right now. Like, what are you craving at this very moment? You're kind of asking like your favorite, like, in general at any given moment, your best average food. And
Yeah.
I think for Americans, and this is going to cause a lot of controversy, I hope, I can only hope this, but I think pizza is the true American cuisine, more so
Yeah.
than cheeseburgers. And I know cheeseburgers are considered the all-American thing, but I think pizza is, I know it's Italian, but like pizza is like the true American, like, that's what we fucking eat, bro.
Yeah.
We get fucking pizza.
It's like the most it's weird because like even in adult life, like I remember working at that like video game company, and anytime they'd like fucking work us to the bone and like force implied overtime or else you're fired, they'd be like, hey, good news guys, we got a pizza party on Friday.
Yes.
Everyone
Yes.
gets to have at least 2 slices. Mm-hmm. And then we'll see how much is left, and then you guys can go back for more. It's like, oh, thank you. I didn't want any more money. A pizza will be just fine.
A pizza will be just fine. I think about that. I haven't really worked through this thought, as people can probably tell, but it just has always struck me that, like, you know, for instance, like my family is from Greece, and we just make certain Greek dishes that are like super good, and that's like what comes to mind when you make a food. But yeah, I feel like burgers are kind of like a different thing. It's like you're not like at a party and order like a platter of cheeseburgers.
Yeah,
I guess
for sure.
cookouts you do.
Yeah, but you don't order it. Like cookout, I feel like there's burgers involved, no matter
Yeah.
what. Burgers
Yeah.
and hot dogs at a cookout. That's like, why else are you having a cookout, dude?
Yeah, were you cooking pizzas at the cookout? That's weird.
I mean, that'd be cool.
That'd be
But
cool.
even if you're doing that, you still gotta have a burger or a hot dog or something. Maybe even just a sausage. You gotta make
Hot
use
dog.
of a hamburger or a hot dog bun.
I would be willing to venture and say that a hot dog might even be more American than the cheeseburger.
Yeah. You don't have... Come on, man. If we're talking 4th of July, we're talking hot dogs.
You're
And that's
talking
our
dogs,
nation's holiday,
baby.
dude.
When you go to
That's
the
our
baseball-
holiday. We celebrate our holiday eating hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
How are you
And
trying to tell me hamburgers are more important to us than hot dogs?
how are you trying to tell me that? How are you trying to tell me that? Generic person that we're arguing against. How could you even
Someone that doesn't even
insinuate
exist yet.
the straw man that we have created who disagrees with everything we're saying? Pizza, the most American food, then hot dogs. Hot dogs, also a sandwich, right?
I mean, if we're saying what's the most American food, like what's the type of food that most percentage of Americans eat on a daily basis, it's got to be Top Ramen, dude.
Dude, I would venture. I would.
We're
say- I
all
would-
unemployed right now.
Top ramen is the true American cuisine.
Top
or
ramen, syrup sandwiches, fucking
bowl of cereal. Bowl of cereal.
bowl of cereal.
That's pretty fucking American, dude. I mean, I'm sure they do that in every country, but they also do it in America, and that's why we're claiming it.
Cereal for dinner.
Cereal for dinner.
We're the land of the free, and the cereal for dinner, home of the brave.
I agree, dude. That I would say, probably. You know what pisses me off is the fact that a sandwich was even invented. That was like a thing that somebody had to invent. You know,
Yeah.
it's
That
like
was a weird thing. I remember like reading about like I forget how it came up, but like in one of my classes in like elementary school, for whatever reason, I think it was to talk about like the club sandwich. We somehow learned about the club sandwich being invented during like a card game, and it's like, why the fuck are we learning about this? I don't even know what a club sandwich is.
I almost don't even
Fucking
take those
third grade,
things
bro.
seriously because I almost feel like it was so easy to invent stuff before. Like, and also you have to have a
Yeah.
lot of balls to make something as simplistic as a sandwich and then go through the process of like being like,
Letting
yo,
everyone
this
know about it.
It's like, yo,
Well, yeah, because the story was like this dude had his wife make him sandwiches for this card game. And like it just so happened to be the club sandwich where there's a piece of bread in between, like 3 pieces of bread, you know, like standard club sandwich. And everyone was so amazed at it at the card game. They had his wife make them sandwiches too.
yo, there's a
and then
third piece of bread.
somehow that became a fucking worldwide food trend.
It was so easy to get clout back in the day, dude.
Yeah.
The Earl of that was the guy who invented the sandwich, by the way. I don't know, maybe Bill Clubb invented the club sandwich,
Maybe.
but the Earl of Sandwich invented the sandwich. And you just got to imagine that guy was sitting there and he was just like, you know how I like eating meat and bread? What if we did it at the same time? But then not only did he do that, because I could see like you do shit like that. You eat stuff at the same time. But then he went through the process of like telling people about
Bragging
it and
about it.
bragging to people, getting it patented. Yo,
Very
check this
braggadocious.
shit out. You talk about a fucking shitty time period in history when you're going around bragging about inventing a sandwich.
dude. Yeah.
Like, I drink every day at Seasons Pizza, I drink Diet Coke with a splash of lemonade. And because I'm a douchebag, I call that drink the Jimmy Selesky. But I'm not like calling up the U.S. Board of Patents.
Yeah, you're not bottling that, selling it, getting sued by Coca-Cola. No, I made this. Yes, I used your products, but it's my ingredients.
Yeah, sure, I use Diet Coke and
It's my
Minute Maid
secret
lemonade.
recipe.
But have you ever combined them? Because Arnold Palmer got to do the iced tea and lemonade.
Yeah, true.
And he named there. You cannot tell me that he was the first person to do that. You just can't. You could tell me that right now, but I'd say you were wrong.
True.
But yeah, hopefully, I guess that's probably the main reason I'd like to get a restaurant one day is just to name something after myself, like a drink.
Just hope it catches on.
Just hope it catches. I've been trying to pitch it at the horse a lot. I'll like say on the mic, "Can I get a Jimmy Selesky?" And I'll be like, "Yo, that's." You can really just go to the bar and ask for one, even if you're not me, and they'll know what to make you. I feel like that'd be cool.
Yeah, they'll just give you any drink they want. They'll just make a random ass drink and be like, "Here you go."
The fucking
It's the
sandwich.
special.
You got to talk about that family is raking in the royalties. The sandwich family.
Oh, come on. They're like those evil bitches that own Happy Birthday.
That and the Dukes of Cheeseburger. They fucking owned it. The happy birthday
The
song.
fucking wait, it's Mayor McCheese, dude. He owns the patent on cheeseburgers.
No, dude, because the Hamburglar stole it.
True.
That is true. Mayor
Fucking-
McCheese used to own it.
You're making me grimace with how right you are right now.
Classic, dude. Classic. Yeah, but ultimately, when it comes to Memorial Day, dude, you got. I know we've been shitting. I feel like this has been a very unpatriotic podcast so far.
Dude,
considering
you're
that
drinking a Black Russian. Come on.
I'm drinking a Black
I
Russian.
sung the Russian national anthem earlier.
It'd be like if I was you're drinking a fucking Chinese martini over there, dude. Wow.
I'm drinking a Wuhan fucking zombie.
Wuhan zombie.
What was that drink at House and Best? They called it like a zombie or something.
I don't recall. What was in it?
It was like rum and fucking. I think the end product was like green. Like, so it must have been like blue curacao and fucking lemon juice. I don't fucking know.
Towson Best. This is just a little pro tip, little Towson talk, Towson corner here. Towson Best, even though they are currently closed for the pandemic, they have the best pina coladas you will ever have. I don't care where you go.
Yeah.
I don't
they're
care
good as
where you
shit.
go. You could go to fucking Sagamore Pendery and Fells Point and pay $13 for it. I don't care. You go to Towson Best at 1 p.m. on a Tuesday and ask your server very slowly for a pina colada. And your fucking world will be flipped, turned upside down. I'm just saying. It's true. They're very good.
Very slowly killed me.
By the way, I think they might have seen our. Remember when they all just randomly decided to go to China on vacation last summer,
Yeah.
and we tried to call them up for delivery after the podcast one night, and they were like,
well,
"Hello,
you had the
Towson Best?"
voicemail as like the intro or outro or something, or it was on Instagram.
I made that like our main promo post of the week. I thought it was
Yeah.
dead to God's honest hilarious, and I called them this past week because I wanted food, obviously, not just to chat.
Yeah,
And,
Towson Best, fuck you. How you doing?
Their voicemail game has been ramped up to the max.
Really?
Like, dude, that guy left the most awesome. He like, it was like he practiced that for like weeks, and he just like spat it off, and he was like, and he even like threw in some American slang. He was like, "Have a dope summer." I was like, "Yo, this guy's legit now, dude."
I'm about to call that up right now.
Call him up, dude.
I want to hear this shit.
It was-
Hopefully it don't pick up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, sorry, I'm not ordering anything.
Now I have to order. Can I get a pina colada delivered to Roland Avenue in Hamden, please?
I'm gonna try to.
Yeah, see what they say, dude.
I'm really hoping they don't pick up. And then I'll put it on speaker.
Yeah, put it on speaker and then hold it up to the mic.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry about the inconvenience, but Towson Best is going to be closed for the next 2 weeks in order to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. I hope everyone stays safe and have an awesome day. Please bear with us. Thank you.
All right, maybe he didn't say have a dope summer. Maybe that was a slight embellishment I put in for the twist.
Yeah,
But that was great
That was a
English.
classic like background noise for a Towson Best phone call, where you're just on the phone with them, but you still hear like 8 other phones ringing. Somehow the door to the kitchen is closed, but you hear every burner and like wok just fucking banging against the stove.
You hear water
I love
boiling.
It, dude. I fucking love it, dude. Towson Best is so good.
You hear people ordering in the background even though they're closed. Like, how is this happening, dude?
We'll be closed for 2 weeks. Can I eat all the steamed dumplings? Shut up. We'll close for 2 weeks.
He said in order to. That's like good ass. Like that's like the same level as like if I was gonna say like I would like to use this pencil, but if instead of doing that I said I would like to utilize this pencil. You know what I'm saying?
sure.
Like it's at that level where it's like, dude, you didn't even need to say utilize. I feel like utilize is a completely useless word. A utilizeless word. You know what I mean?
I thought it was a good voicemail.
No, I'm
I
saying that was a
respect
great
them for
voicemail.
putting it out.
I absolutely respect it. I almost feel like maybe they were offended by our Instagram post. Hopefully,
I hope not.
not hopefully they were offended. Hopefully they just saw it. That'd be cool. By the way, people that
Could
seen
be
our
our first
post,
sponsor if they want to be.
I would love that. I would love that. Shouts out to Baltimore Humor for reposting our post last week. I don't know if you noticed that,
No.
but it was
nice.
shared. I made a meme myself again. I've been working at it. I've been trying harder at it, and I thought this past week's meme was one of my better ones. And if you want to see it, just go to LFTS Podcast Instagram. It's the top one, or maybe the second one. But I tagged Baltimore Humor in it, and they reposted it, and it got like 70 story shares. But then we still only got like a regular amount of likes. Like people just saw the meme, liked it. I think we got like a couple follows out of it. But
Nice. Was it the one of Jack Young?
Yes, it was the one about Jack
Nice.
Young. He's been grinding my gears lately with the whole, especially when it comes to Memorial Day, dude. He kind of got my goat recently about that whole thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm referring to?
No, not really. I was reading the meme and I spaced out for a second.
Oh, that is the first time Eric's seen the meme.
I saw it like the other day, but I think I was just like in my scroll zone. So I was just like, bring.
He just kind of he said, I listen to talk radio every day, as everybody knows, and he got on there this past week and was like really, really adamant about the fact, not only like his rhetoric before, where he was like talking about like how, if you're a business and you do anything, we're going to come and fine you and shut you down and things like that. But then this week he was talking about how he's going to, if he sees like if you have like a cookout or something like that, they're going to come and like fine you and stuff like that.
Damn.
And I was like, bro, really? Like you're talking about a city where our murder rate is still on pace. Like the shutdown has had zero effect on the shootings. Like that's still happening. And it's understood that our police force is completely incapable of handling what's going on, the crime in the city. But yet and then they have the balls to go on there and be like, we're going to have our police out in full patrol, monitoring social distancing to make sure that no cookouts are more than X amount of people. And so I was like, bro, you are focused on literally the least important fucking thing I could ever imagine. And he said, we're going to be making sure that our police are out in full force to monitor social distancing while still mitigating the violence. And I was like, bro, you couldn't even mitigate the violence before the pandemic. And now all of a sudden you're going to come out there and tell me that while making sure nobody's shooting each other in West Baltimore, you're also going to make sure Eric Glazer doesn't have more than 10 people at his fucking cookout.
Which I didn't.
Which you didn't. But like, it just, I don't know, dude.
Also, we had crabs. We didn't cook out.
Yeah, dude, we didn't cook them. Steam out.
Fucking picked them up. Yeah, it's interesting times we're living in. I might do a little drink refresh real quick.
Oh, true. I might do one as well.
Nice.
We are double Russianed up. Eric's got
Nice.
himself a nice Tom Petty.
This is actually a 4th of July special. So this is a gin and tonic with I didn't have any ice, so I put one of those firecracker popsicles in it.
Nice, dude.
Red, white, and blue, baby.
Are you supposed to
Happy
do
Memorial
fireworks
Day.
on Memorial Day? Is that a thing?
I don't think so. Because Memorial Day is like remembering the troops, right? Remembering like dead troops, I think. Is that correct?
I think Memorial Day, is about remembering dead troops. Veterans Day is about remembering all troops.
All troops, yeah.
Labor Day,
Just remembering the workers.
the workers, and President's Day. That's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
But those are like the main holidays. Those are like the main American holidays.
Asian
Bes-
American History Month.
Asian American History Month, which is what month?
I think
March?
it's this month.
Is it really?
Or maybe it was last month. I don't know.
What a bad
I
month
think it
for
was just
Asian
like-
American history.
Was it new this year? I like saw that being like trending on YouTube or something, and I was like, I didn't know that was a thing.
I don't think it is a thing. I don't think that you get to just make stuff a thing, dude. I think that we should all have to vote.
I mean,
on whether
they
or not
do
it's a
that
thing.
every day already with all the
Yeah.
fucking dumb holidays that are going on.
Yeah.
You know, like Talk Like a Pirate Day or whatever bullshit happens.
Well, the thing is, the internet has really brought these holidays to life because I do remember, like, when I was like in 6th grade, I used to walk around like a fucking loser with this big packet. I called it my packet of useless information. And I had printed out like
I think I remember this.
13 pages of useless facts. And I still remember a lot of them. I remember one
Like
of them.
transcribed a book you got at the Scholastic Book Fair.
And I remember one of them was pretty cool. It was that if you drop a raisin in a glass of Sprite and wait 10 seconds, it'll just start like convulsing and go up and down the glass like a million times or something like that. That was the least interesting fact on the thing, but I don't know why that one has stuck with me. And also, I've never tried it. I've just believed it for 15 years of my life. But I loved that packet of useless information. But one of the pieces of useless information that was in that packet was the list of every holiday. Because like every day, you're gonna have to mute that
There's a
down.
holiday every day.
Yeah, and like before the internet, these holidays didn't really exist, you know. But now, like National Daughters Day and shit like that, and then everybody starts
National
posting.
Soft Pretzel Day. Like, come on, dude. Get the fuck
It's
out
like,
of here.
dude, the only like rogue holiday that I really knew of was like 7-Eleven was
Yeah,
get a free
Slurpee
Slurpee
Day.
Slurpee Day. But that's because I could get something for free. If ever like National Pancakes Day, is that? Do you get free pancakes from IHOP on National Pancakes Day?
Not. I've done it like once, I think.
But you can, right? You can do that.
I think so.
Unless I get a free thing as a result of the holiday, I'm not gonna fucking remember that shit. Other than that, it's Thanksgiving because I get free food for my family. Christmas because I get free stuff from my family. Halloween because I get to be a free me on Halloween and look like a
Yeah.
jackass. And 4th of July because we're fucking free.
Land
Just
of
all
the free.
around, all together. Everything's free.
Whole
we're all
damn
free.
land of free.
Land of the free. That's why it's the most important holiday. Other than that,
Exactly.
Easter, who gives a shit?
Yeah, you can get a fucking basket from a bunny. Who gives a shit, dude?
Who gives a shit, dude?
You eat ham? You're not even eating rabbit? Come on.
That would be fucked up if we all ate rabbit stew
Eat the
on.
rabbit after it gives you gifts. I feel like if we like gave Santa cookies to fatten him up,
And then killed
eat
him. And they
yeah,
ate raw fat guy for Christmas or something. Fucked
yeah,
up.
roast beast. That's what that is.
Dude, I did think it was roast beast until I was like 19.
I just thought that roast beast was another thing that I hadn't tried yet as a kid. I was like, I can't wait to try roast beast. It looks so good in the Grinch.
Yeah, can I get the rare roast beast sandwich? I hear it's very rare. This must be fucking very rare. Which beast is this? Might I ask?
Santa.
Fucking Santa, dude. That's probably Have you decided if you're going to tell your kids about Santa Claus yet? Are you going to do that?
I haven't even thought about that, dude.
That's something you should think about right now.
I have time to think about it now. You're right.
I'm just saying, like, if you're going to think about that ever, it should be now. And I've
Should be this moment in
this
time.
moment, dude. You should not come out of this pandemic with any questions
With any
unanswered.
thoughts of like, how would I even support a family right now with the economy like it is?
Yeah.
I got to think about the important things like, will I tell my son or daughter if the tooth fairy is real?
Will Santa support my family?
Yeah.
I
don't
will
want
say
them to like the idea of getting free stuff, free handouts from someone. So I'm not gonna,
true. That's true.
Just a very libertarian approach to parenting.
But also, Santa Claus is pretty good about that because he knows if you're naughty or nice, and you only get shit from Santa if you're good.
Yeah, it's weird
But that's
that like
not
we
the case
force
with the Easter Bunny.
It's weird that we like force a sense of like morality onto children of whether they'll be rewarded or not by being good or bad. Yet in real life, bad people get away with most of the stuff all the time.
That is true. That is true. I mean, it is an important way of enforcing morality on children. I think that's obviously important. You got to instill in your kid's mind that you got to be good, you know?
Well, because
So
like all kids are like sociopaths until like the age of like, I don't know, fucking 19.
Yeah, 19,
So,
when they
like-
figure out roast beast isn't real.
Yeah.
That's really when your
So,
brain
like-
frontal cortex develops.
You almost have to like trick them. You have to trick them into being good. Otherwise, they'd be like little monsters with material goods, you know?
Well, the problem is a kid doesn't understand, like, and I feel like it's the same reason why I think religion gets a bad rap because,
Well, I mean,
people-
that's the same thing too. Like the people saying like, "Oh, God's always watching." you
yeah,
know?
it's the same thing, but it's enforcing good values, but it enforces good values in a way that you don't have to think about them, you know? And when you're a kid, you can't really explain to a kid in like logical fashion at 5 years old how being a good person does this X, Y, Z later in life. So instead you make up these fake things like Santa Claus and say like, no, dude, you just gotta be good. He's always watching you. I know it's weird. He's gonna come down the chimney on Christmas.
Yeah, no, he left this elf on the shelf here. To
That is one thing my
surveil you
family
at
never
all
did.
Times. Yeah, my family never did that either.
We all, you know what else we didn't do really? Stockings. I feel like my mom tried to do stockings, but then
We
she never
had-
put anything in them.
We had stockings because my grandma made everyone's stockings. Like my parents had one, me and my brother had one, all of our cousins had one from her. Mm-hmm. And then we had like a reindeer stocking that would just be designated to whatever dog we had at the time.
Nice. Yeah, that was something my parents would do. Would get my dog presents for Christmas, which I always thought was cute, I guess. But like, the tooth fairy doesn't enforce morality. The tooth fairy is just basically saying like, you lost a tooth. Congratulations. That's the participation trophy of
Yeah.
myths.
Yeah, it like makes you think that for what I mean, I guess I don't know. Tooth Fairy is weird because like it instills in you that like you can sell parts of your body are worth money.
That's true.
Training
is
thought
true.
we're training OnlyFans girls, dude.
Well, the weirdest thing about
If I
tooth
can
fairy
get
is
$10 for my tooth, what can I get for my snatch?
all the other mythical characters are like mildly intrusive. Like Santa Claus comes into your house at night and he like leaves shit under the tree, but it's kind of like, you know, it's kosher. He's not fucking walking in your room or anything. Easter Bunny usually doesn't even come inside. Easter Bunny just goes around, goes in your
Yeah,
backyard.
leave some hidden eggs.
Puts a couple
They'll
plastic
leave
eggs under a
basket
bush.
inside sometimes, you know.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Only if you have the door unlocked. He's not breaking anybody's house. Santa Claus is going down the fucking chimney. Most houses don't even have chimneys anymore. He's figuring it out. The Tooth Fairy is vaporizing into your room and seeing that you have a dismembered part of your body under your pillow and trading and going while you're asleep and fucking lifting up your pillow and sliding you like 25. How much money did your parents give you?
Probably at most $5, but it was usually just like $1 or something, I think.
That's really shortchanging you, dude. To go through that
I mean,
entire
like-
process of losing
But
a tooth
also,
and
like,
getting
I
$5.
didn't really think it was like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I ever thought the Tooth Fairy was real.
You just kind of just play along.
I don't know if my parents I can't remember if they ever like, I don't know. I kind of just like knew at a young age when my mom would be like, all right, yeah, Tooth Fairy, put it on your pillow. Your Tooth Fairy will give you $1 or whatever. Mm-hmm. I kind of knew there wasn't a Tooth Fairy, you know?
Yeah. I tell you what, dude, that is one thing I probably won't do. Maybe. Because it's just going to be awkward. Because, like, I'm going to get caught. My kid's going to catch me in
I
his
just
room.
I don't get the whole like thing. I don't get the Tooth Fairy thing at all. Like I understand the like Santa Claus. I understand most of the other holidays, like Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, because they're just the same thing. It's just a different holiday.
Yeah.
It's just like fucking Ryu and Ken, where they just like change or like Sub-Zero and Scorpion, where they change the color on them.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I believed in Scorpion.
No, I think in that game I remember seeing on like G4 or something back in the day where they're saying like the game didn't have enough memory for another character, so they just like did a color palette switch on like Scorpion and a Sub-Zero, and then gave it a different move set.
Wow.
Yeah, but for holidays, I understand those like tall tale
Tall
holiday
tales.
heroes, but I never understood the Tooth Fairy.
'Cause the Tooth Fairy
there's no
isn't a
good
holiday.
message behind the Tooth Fairy. There's no like, I mean, there's like a fucking Dwayne the Rock Johnson Tooth Fairy movie, but like no one thinks the Tooth Fairy is cool. Like the Tooth Fairy at the end of the day is weird. Like, why does it want all these teeth?
That's true. What are you doing with all these teeth? But also, I will say this about the Tooth Fairy.
The Tooth Fairy is like more similar to like a Krampus style like villain.
Yeah, very much the Jack Skellington of the mythical creature world. But I will say this about the Tooth Fairy in the Tooth Fairy's defense, because I feel like I've been ragging on him a lot. Her, him, her, whatever it is. I'm imagining it's a girl. I always pictured the Tooth Fairy as like a girl with like a light blue dress
Yeah,
and
I think of it as
blonde
like,
curly hair. I don't know why.
I think of it as like the grandma witch. in
That's how you think
whatever
of the Tooth Fairy?
In like whatever Disney shit. Like I think of her as like one of the witches or whatever from Cinderella.
Is that
I think
always
of
how you
as,
picture
like,
her, though?
Yeah,
When
like
you were
the
a kid?
blue frumpy fucking
Oh my! I always imagined like a super hot chick.
Oh no! I always
I
thought
always
of
saw
it
it as
as
like a
like
super hot chick that came
like
in
a
my room.
sweet old lady, not like a gross, not like a
See, that's fucked up.
But I think of her as like the fucking whatever, like the sister witch on Sabrina, like the two sisters that raised Sabrina. I think of her as the fun one.
Dude, I mean, like, I don't know if my dad ever really played into it. It was probably more so my mom when it came to the Tooth Fairy. I don't know if they ever described her. I don't know if my mom was like, I don't know where I got the idea that the Tooth Fairy was hot.
It's just a fucking smoke show, just coming
Yeah.
and taking your teeth.
I don't know if my mom was like, Jim,
Like,
you
of
just lost
course,
your
a hot woman wants my teeth. You as a
You
kid
just
rationalizing that.
lost your first tooth, and tonight a super hot babe is going to come in your room and steal that tooth and leave you $2 because I just got laid off. But yeah, I feel kind of bad that that's how you pictured it.
Don't feel bad. I mean, also like, you got $2. That's dope.
I was going to say about that particular subject, because this is such an important subject that we're honed in on right now, that
Like, I think I got $1 for each of my teeth, and then the last one I got $5. I'm pretty sure.
because your parents know. That's the main thing. The Tooth Fairy is the easiest thing as a parent because it's cut and dry. When your kid stops losing his teeth, then you break the news to him. You don't have any more teeth. You're not losing any more teeth, bro. So
Yeah.
as soon as you lose your last tooth, you come out and you say it. Hey, Tooth Fairy is not actually real. You got all your adult teeth now. You're ready for some adult knowledge. Santa Claus isn't like that. Santa Claus is a very subjective thing where certain parents will allow that lie to go on for longer than it should, and then you become a weirdo at school.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in most situations, a kid never learns from their parents that Santa Claus isn't real. It's always from other kids.
Yeah, but also I think that from now on, new rule of parenting: when your kid loses all his kid teeth, that's when you tell him everything. That's when you break the news. There is no reason why a kid with a full set of adult teeth should be believing in Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny or the Tooth Fairy.
The moment
or
your kid loses all of his teeth, give him the sex talk.
give him the sex doll. All right, these are going to be the teeth you're going to be using when you have sex, Charlie.
Listen, the stork's not real. I fuck your mom. Listen, fucking, this is what it's all about.
I think the stork
You're going
was
to base your entire life, your personality, the way you interact with people around fucking.
It's time we tuned you in. I think that was the one thing that I will hand it to my parents. They never sold me the stork story,
Yeah, I never got the stork story either.
because that's like the dumbest one.
It doesn't even make sense. Because it's
It's
like,
like-
why? How would they give me you, or how would they give you me, and then also I look exactly like you?
Yeah, and it's like I remember having that talk with my dad when I was like 6, way too young. I knew what sex was before I knew Santa Claus wasn't real.
You
I feel like
had
that's reverse
sex
order.
already.
Yeah. I had sex and still believed in Santa Claus when I was having sex. That I don't think you should ever have sex when you still believe in Santa Claus. Those are just two things that don't go together. I'm fucking this girl and wondering if Santa's watching. Oh no. Is this naughty or nice?
Oh god, there's so many times where I just wish you did stand up, dude.
But that was the one thing where like I kind of stumped. I was like talking to my dad and he was explaining to me the sex talk, and I remember asking, because they never told me about the stork, like I said, but I just kind of gathered it because that's what every other parent would say, and that's what teachers would say when you were that age, like, oh, the stork. And so I was like, so when he explained sex, he was like, no, sex is how you make a kid. But it still wasn't registering to me. I knew what sex was because I had seen movies where like there were sex scenes. I was like, what are they doing? Are they just like, you didn't really know what sex was for the longest time, actually probably way too long in my life. I thought I was severely fucked up because my dick pointed up when it got hard. Because I thought the vagina was on the
How am I
front.
gonna fuck a girl?
I thought the vagina was like where the dick is, like on the front. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was like, dude, I feel like my dick should be pointing straight ahead like an arrow. And so I'm never gonna be able to have sex. But I found out, later when I lost my virginity that it all works out.
Yeah.
But
And
I
then
remember
your dick never gets that hard again.
But I do remember asking when he said that, I was like, so you're telling, okay, so, because when you're a kid, you still have all these working theories. And when you're exposed to new information, it's too much to be told that no. It's like taking the red pill. It's like, no, dude, everything we told you up to this point is fake. You have to let go of everything.
It's like Kids Next Door, dude.
You know all the information we pumped into your head? Just forget all of it and just start from zero because I'm about to fucking break your mind right now. So I was still trying to incorporate the myths into reality. I was still trying to incorporate that, okay, so I get it. Like, Dad, okay, I get it. You and Mom had sex. But like then when you had sex, that's when the stork was like, all right, they just banged. So I'm going to bring this kid to them because they had sex. Like that's the adult version of to the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah.
Like, you had sex and now your
Dad
reward
put
is
the
this
condom
child.
under the pillow, and then I woke up almost suffocated underneath of it.
It just is because I don't know. It's just it was too much at once to be told that all those things. Because like when I was younger, I really wanted to believe in the Greek gods because I thought it was super cool. But then I also believed in like regular God because that's how I was raised, Christian. But then I was like, but dude, the Greek gods are so much cooler. Like Zeus is sick. The Greeks have gods for everything. They have a god of wine, they have a god of fire, god of war. And so
There's
like
a god of like fucking.
God
There's
of-
a
yeah,
god
god
of just
of-
like running fast.
running fast. Just like all the shit they liked. The god of that. Coming up with ridiculous shit. That's what I'm saying. That's why it was so much easier to invent shit back then, dude. You can invent a new god.
Yeah.
It's the god of sandwiches.
Yeah,
Fuck.
dude, if they had sandwiches back then, there would have been a god of sandwiches.
Because exactly. They just hadn't invented it yet. They had all the gods invented, but they hadn't quite put the two and two together of bread and meat yet. But like I used to pray to the gods, the Greek gods, to be like, yo, can you let main god know that I was like I would like pray to like the god of like wind, Aeolus. He was always my favorite. I don't know why. I was like the god of
you
wind.
were poly with your gods.
I
dude.
was very poly.
And you're very open with them. You're like, listen, I'm seeing another god, and I want to tell you about it. I don't want you to find out from someone else.
But I still understood that like God was my main god, like that's my main god. But like all the other gods are like side gods. So I'd be like, yo, Aeolus, can you send it by real God that just like don't
I
be
know
windy
you're
tomorrow.
quick with it. Can
Like,
you just
look,
please.
This request is wind related, so I know you're the guy to go to about this. Can you pass it on to God that for some reason at 6 years old, I just don't want it to be windy tomorrow. I remember
No.
I remember praying that. I remember
At
praying
6
that.
years old, you're hitting up middle management of gods, trying to put in a good word to the
I
boss.
called up AOS. He was like, "That's really not my department." God damn it! Fucking government-run agencies.
Yeah, we'll send someone up there in like 3 hours.
Yeah, we'll get
What?
back. It's not like a call center, dude. What are you even praying to the god of wine about? Dear, what Dionysus? Dionysus is the god of wine.
Dear Dionysus,
Can I please get drunk from this wine?
please turn this grape juice to wine.
You know what a great time to pray
I
to
don't
the
want to beat my wife.
when you're underage and you're trying to buy alcohol. Those kids in ancient Greece were definitely praying to the god of wine. I guarantee it.
If you're
Even though they
underage trying to buy alcohol,
Probably didn't have liquor laws in ancient Greece.
yeah, no.
Especially
Or
since they were
otherwise,
fucking
you-
older dudes.
Yeah, you could just get your older dude to get it for you.
It's like, dude, you're 9 years old. It's like, yeah, my boyfriend has the hookup.
Yeah, just
He's
bang
36.
bang me out behind the store and go pick me up a bottle of the nice stuff.
I prayed to the god of wine that this older man wouldn't fuck me. But he said that wasn't his department. You got to pray to the god of not fucking underage boys. Totally different god.
Oh yeah, there's no god like that back then.
Definitely not Zeus.
You had to pray to Hades for that.
That's what I will say. I do think the Greek gods were kind of dope about that because the Greek gods, they
They let the boy fucking slide.
let everything slide, dude. Zeus fucked regular chicks.
Oh,
Like he
yeah.
was like a god to the Greeks. He,
fucks,
was like,
like,
dude, this guy
animals and
fucks
shit.
every girl. Like he
He
fucks
was-
gods,
Yeah, he would come to like Earth as like an animal and fuck women.
which is like, dude, if I could come to Earth as anything to fuck a hot chick, I'd
He
just
came
come
to Earth as a
hot
Labrador
guy.
and fucked Elizabeth Warren.
I wouldn't. If I was a fucking god, I wouldn't be like, yo, I'm gonna come to Earth as a fucking goat and seduce this maiden. I'd be like, I'm just gonna come to Earth as like a dope ass dude. I feel like my shot is way
Come to
better.
Earth as a TikTok boy.
The god of TikTok, dude. Alex Glazer.
Yeah, go follow my brother on TikTok.
Yeah, what's his TikTok handle?
Let me see real quick. Cause yeah, neither of us have TikTok, so just go follow him.
That would pretty much do it. And I almost do wonder. I almost wouldn't be surprised if eventually.
His is Alex 666.
Nice. That is a very Alex handle.
Yeah.
I might just get us a TikTok as LFTS podcast just to reserve the name. You know,
True. And I think you can just like put up the same Instagram clips too.
that's true. But
You can't do like the TV like extended long clips, but you can do like 1 minute clips, I think.
our clips aren't very TikTok friendly. They're not really anything friendly because nobody fucking likes them. But they're definitely not TikTok friendly. TikTok is like a whole different culture that it's like. It really is difficult for me to understand like what that shit is. Like a lot of times I'll see TikToks and like, but the TikToks that I get are the ones that are basically Vines. You know, like when somebody just makes a short, funny video. But then there's like a whole level of like, there's like a trend of the day and then everybody makes like a video to that thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like, if you don't understand the thing, then you're not going to get the joke. You know?
Yeah.
Which
that's
is
why
just-
I haven't really gotten into TikTok.
Me being a fucking boomer. Speaking of generations, I was hanging out with my family the other day, Saturday, and we were hanging out, and I was talking to my cousin Jamie about the names of generations, and we were kind of going over like which generation is which, and I feel like that's a weird conversation because it's never like a set thing. Like every time you Google it, you get like 75 different answers, or like boomers, or I feel like the idea of naming generations is so weird because it's like you're not really, it's like people are just born at different years. It's not like,
Yeah.
oh, this set of 20 years is different from this set of 20. It's like, dude, if I was born in 1989, I'm a millennial. Or, okay, if I was born in like 1981, I'm technically a Gen X. But if I was born in 1982, I'm technically a millennial. It's like, but I have way more in common with that dude in 1982 than I do with a Gen Xer who was born in fucking like 1968. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah,
I
there's
almost-
definitely like generational divides, but
but it's hard to quantify like that. It means nothing to me. But the moral of this story is that I was asking her because we got up to Gen Z. We determined that Gen Z was from, I think, 97 to 2012. I think they're usually about 15-year spans. And which means that my brother has just barely made the cut for millennial, which I'm very disappointed about. And we're like stone cold millennials. That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
Gen Z, I still the jury's still out on whether or not Gen Z is a cool generation. I don't know. They seem pretty cool, but they also seem kind of weird.
Gen Z, to sum them up, they're like the people that went to Comic-Con before Comic-Con was mainstream.
That's Gen Z.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or no. Gen Z is the generation. I'm talking about Gen X.
Gen X. Okay. Gen
Yeah.
X was like the original, because I think of like Tommy Sinbazo
Gen Z
and like
is
Mike Moran.
like-
They're Gen Xers.
Gen Z, I just think of my younger cousins.
Yeah,
Where
and
they're just like young, but they're all like still in that weird like middle school polo phase.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they still have that attitude. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay.
The problem is that I realize, and this is why I think we should have kids very soon. And this is why I asked you earlier on this podcast, have you started to think about what, if you're going to tell your kid about Santa Claus? And that I meant that because I care about you. And I want you to be prepared for that. And the reason for that is that when I was talking to my cousin, I asked her, she said, okay, Gen Z is from 1997 to 2012. And I said, okay, what's the name of the generation that comes 2012 to now? She was like, she Googled it and she was like, oh, that's Generation Alpha. And I was like,
Ooh.
I don't agree with that name. I feel like we should be allowed to vote on those names, first of all. I don't know why one generation is going to be fucking Generation Alpha. That's like the coolest generation name. We
Yeah,
should be
the person
Generation
in
Y,
charge
by the
of
way.
naming them is about to have a kid, and they're like, "Ooh,
My kid's gonna be a fucking alpha, dude. Like that's
he's
fine.
born into it, bro."
That's fine, but here's the problem, dude. Here's the problem. The next generation, Generation Beta.
Ooh,
That's no good.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be an old dad, I guess.
If we don't have kids within the next 7 years, our kids will be betas by definition.
Damn. Yeah, I'm gonna have an old kid, bro. I'm gonna have to fucking nut one out in my 50s just to have a whatever C is.
Whatever C is, Gen C. I don't even know.
Gen
Because
C, baby.
the next letter in the Greek alphabet after
Delta?
beta is gamma.
Not Delta.
We don't have no gamma. Actually, I don't fucking know. Probably no. It's alpha, beta, gamma. Yeah, alpha, beta, gamma, gamma is the. That's the next letter. Gamma's a cool fucking.
Gamma's pretty
name.
good.
But like,
Dude, we might give birth to like superheroes if we wait till Gamma.
but that's
If we
gonna be
get
where-
like an old nut during Gamma, dude, there's enough room in there for a superpower to form up.
Let's do the
Or
math. here,
everyone
though.
will just be autistic.
generation.
It's a coin toss, dude. Generation Gamma, what's more realistic? Let's be real.
Superhuman or autistic or both.
Yeah.
Special.
Hey, the Hawk was strong.
So let's do the math. We're 27 right now. We're gonna be 28 in August. If we have a kid before the time we're 34, then our kids will still be Generation Alpha, and I'm holding out for
Okay.
that. But if we have a kid after 34, that kid's gonna be Generation Beta, and we're gonna have to wait 15 years. We have to wait till we're 49 to have an autistic kid in Generation Gamma. And that's just because I would rather have an autistic kid than a fucking beta.
I do not want to give birth to a simp, dude.
Fucking simp, dude. Generation simp. I just don't know who's in charge of this naming process.
The same person who does the hurricane names.
Yeah, probably the same guy.
Probably, dude. He doesn't have enough work on his plate to justify that salary.
He
so
only
he
has
needs
to
to name
think.
other things.
Every 15 years. Every 15 years, you're like, yo, what should we call this one? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he fills that time by doing maybe like 3 or 4 hurricane names a year too.
Yeah.
And then maybe they also do the top 100 baby name lists that go
They
out.
probably do that. They probably do that. I would imagine it's the same people responsible
Probably the
for
same
both of those
people.
things.
Yeah.
Janet. Janet is a boomer name.
Janet is big for the boomers.
I think that Janet is probably the most underrated boomer name because everybody likes to say Karen, and everybody has like their weird list of like boomer names or like old names like Gertrude and Beatrice, things like that. But like
Yeah.
Janet, I don't know anyone named Janet our age. I know a
No.
Karen.
Yeah, I know a couple Karens. I know, yeah, I don't know. What are some other old names? I feel like
Another-
Susan is an old name.
Susan. Yes, Susan
I have like
is
an
an
aunt
old name.
named Susan, but that's it.
But I knew we had a couple Susies in high school. We had a couple
There's
actually. I think about it.
Suzies, dude. No one went by Susan.
There was Suzanne, but that's different. Suzanne is different because it's like a little hippie.
It's a flip.
It's two names.
It's a throwback. It's
But,
a
like-
nostalgia remix.
Actually, my brother and I and your brother, we were all hanging on the balcony the other week, and we realized that Fred. I don't know anyone
Fred.
actually named Fred.
Yeah. Anyone in Scooby Doo universe. Fred, Velma, Daphne, Shaggy, Scoob. No one has those names anymore.
true. That is true.
Someone might be named Scooby now. Like some dumb like fucking Redditor may have been like, "Hey, me and my wife just gave birth to our new user last night. We named him Scoob. Can we get upvotes for Scoob?"
I mean, hey, new parent here. We
Ask
just
me
named our kid
anything.
Scoob. But that's the thing. Scooby isn't even the most ridiculous name of that because I would be less surprised if I met a dude named Scoob than if I met a girl named Velma.
Yeah, true.
I could never imagine meeting a girl named Velma. That's
Velma
not
is
even.
just such like an out there name.
It's out there, but it's not because obviously
Because
Scooby would be
it's a
out
real
there.
name. It's a real name, but it's like I just think of like disco when I think of Velma. Like for whatever reason, I think of like that time period.
What do you mean for whatever reason, dude? Because you're thinking of the fucking Scooby Doo era.
Scooby Doo's not like a disco show.
I guess not. You're right. They were kind of more pre-disco. They were more 60s.
Yeah, and also they're all like kids, so they weren't like.
They were kids, but not really. Like Shaggy and Fred looked like a grown. Fred, I feel like Fred was like 27. I feel like he was my age.
Yeah,
He definitely
I
went
guess
to
in
high
the
school.
old show. I'm thinking more so of like the new episodic Scooby Doo that's on Netflix.
Do they make him
They're
look
in high
more
school.
like childish?
Well, they're in high school in that show.
Well, really, high school's the only age you could be really doing that. You know, like if I just had like a big
Yeah.
van that I went around with my 5 friends
I mean,
and my dog.
I think in like the old show, like they were just like a traveling mystery solving company.
They were a company.
Yeah, Mystery Incorporated.
I thought they were just like
they're incorporated, dude.
they were private investigators.
They were mystery solvers. I don't know. They were like the Ghost Adventures crew.
Wow, dude. I just thought they were just a bunch of kids up to no good, but good.
Well, I guess they were called kids because it was like I would have gotten away for it too if it weren't for these meddling kids.
Meddling kids, yeah.
But also, all the people that said that were like old.
Yeah, they were
So,
old.
like,
They could have
everyone
been
was
saying
kid
kids
to
like,
them.
you know, like an old lady would
like
call
trying
your
to
mom a
like
kid.
demean them.
Yeah,
like the
you're-
way like when I was a manager at the movie theater, and if someone didn't get their way, they'd talk down to me because I was younger than them.
You were a meddling kid at that point.
I was a meddling kid, dude.
But you were like 28 at that point.
No, I'm not even 28 right
Manager
now.
at Cinemark at 28.
I'm not even 28 right now, dude.
But you were then, dude. Quit trying to deny it.
I was like 22 in a suit with even worse facial hair, just being like, I'm sorry, but you can't use this old free popcorn ticket.
But we were kids at 22. And that's the
We
point.
were totally kids at 22.
I think once you get to your late 20s is when it's undeniable. Nah, I'm not going to say that. I'm wrong about that. I'm going to say 30s. I keep on pushing up the goalposts because I keep
Yeah.
on waiting for the day I wake up and I'm like, I'm a fucking grown man now, dude.
I
Nobody
know,
can tell
but
me
I just
anything.
don't think that's ever gonna happen, which like kind of sucks.
Dude, today I was driving through a neighborhood, and it was like a gated community. So like automatically, I was driving through that neighborhood because I was on a delivery. I wasn't just driving through a gated community
Yeah.
because I was like, hey, what the fuck else am I gonna do today? I took a delivery.
Not drive through again.
This community's gated. I'm bored. I'm getting in there.
Obviously, I'm driving through it.
I got an old Seasons delivery bag in my car. I got a great backstory. I'm going to this gated community. So I go there, clocked in on a shift for a real reason, for a delivery. And I'm driving out of the neighborhood after I drop off my delivery. And like, this is one of the few times that I actually had 92Q on, because I usually alternate between talk radio, 1090, WBAL, 90% of the time, or
Yeah.
then I just go complete opposite and just bump 92Q the other 10% of the time when I don't like the person talking at the time. I'm like, fuck this
Yeah.
guy. This guy's annoying. So I turn on 92Q just to clear it out of my system, cleanse the palate, just completely become ignorant as fuck again, and then go back to it. And so at this particular moment, I had 92Q bumping at like, I don't know, maybe 18 on my volume level. Not that loud.
Not crazy.
It's not even late. It's like
Yeah.
6:30 p.m. at this point. Driving through the gated community, come out, and I get to this portion of the road where I could either make a right or a left, you know, as most roads go. And I decided to go to the left. And there's always a 100% chance I always make the wrong turn. So, of course, that was the
Yeah.
wrong turn. I make the left, and then I realize I'm going the wrong direction. So I make a quick U-ey. And this guy's like kids are like biking in the middle of the street. And like I was like super cautious. Because like, dude,
Yeah,
there is nothing
going
more
slow.
ferocious. There's nothing more ferocious than a father in a community with his kids in the street.
Yeah,
And you will
drinking
get,
a
you will get,
beer.
you will get your shit told to you from
Yeah,
any,
for
really
sure.
any grown man in a neighborhood. They just automatically absorb this, like, if you go 1 mile over the speed limit, I will annihilate your life. And so I know that because my dad was like that. And so I'm super cautious making this turn. These kids are just biking around, and I make my U-turn and come back the other way. And I guess maybe it looked like suspicious or something.
Yeah, that you're like trying to hit them or
Yeah.
like scoping them out or something.
And so I'm driving back down the other way.
But also, it's like, dude, you have your delivery uniform on. Like, come on.
I didn't know if maybe I was going fast, but I wasn't going fast. Like the speed limit was like 30. I might have been going like 34, but like it's not like he has a fucking radar on his overalls.
And also, it's like, would it have made a difference if you went like 10 more feet down the road, then did a U-turn? Like,
Yeah.
no. Like,
So-
that would have been more suspicious, I feel like.
So I make this U-turn, and I see this one lady on the other side of the sidewalk like make like a hand signal, and this other guy comes out from the driveway, and as I'm driving down the street, is walking into the middle of the street trying to get in front of my car, pointing at me, and I'm like making eye contact. I was like, whoa, what the? But then that's when my adulthood kicked in, and I was like, wait a second, I'm a grown adult. I don't have
Yeah.
to stop for you.
Yeah.
You're telling me to stop, but I don't have to. If I was 22, I would have been like, I'm sorry, sir. What's wrong? What seems to be the problem?
Yeah.
Not an actual officer? Just a
Yeah.
person in his driveway? What seems to be the problem? I'm fucking working right now, but by all means, what do you need to fucking take my time with? I'm late for a delivery in fucking Mount Washington, 15 minutes away during the busy hour for no fucking reason. And I got you telling me to wind my window. I'm 27 now, dude.
Also,
and it
dude,
hit me.
I don't want to have you fucking breathe on me. There's coronavirus. You're probably sick, you old piece
What do
of
you got to
shit.
say to me, bruh? What do you have to say to me? I'm in your neighborhood. I'm in your town.
I'm in your hood sipping tea, bro.
I'm delivering these pizzas, bro, and you can't stop me. And I'm U-turning on your kids. Tell your kids to get the fuck out of the road.
Yeah, for real.
This road was meant for me, driving. I mean, technically, you're supposed to have bikes in the road, but I don't believe in that, honestly. I think that's bullshit. And I think if you're on a bike and you don't drive on the sidewalk, you're a fucking asshole. And I know that's not the right way of thinking. But every time I'm driving down Falls Road and there's some fucking dude on Falls Road, like, kinda in the lane, but not really. And then I am driving behind him. Now we're going uphill. So this fucking 50-year-old man is now biking at 5 miles per hour.
Yeah, he's like
And-
on the verge of a heart attack.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for an opportunity to go around, but it's also over a blind hill, so I don't know who's coming over, but I have to go around. So I have to put my life in danger. I have to get into the opposite traffic lane and risk a car coming over the hill that I couldn't see because your ass couldn't fucking get on the sidewalk. Bring your biking ass on the sidewalk. I know it's not technically the law, and I know it's all about sharing the road, but the reality is I almost feel like bikers put car drivers in more danger than car drivers put bikers in. Putting it out there. Hot take. I feel in heavy danger when I see a biker in front of me going very slow and I have to swerve into oncoming traffic to get around him. I think that's dangerous.
Yeah.
If there's a bike lane, get in the bike lane. If there's not, get on the sidewalk, aka the original bike lane.
Or just
when
stick
you were
to
a
the
kid,
bike
you drove on the
lanes.
sidewalk.
Like there's bike lanes and like there's main line bike lanes that go through most neighborhoods. Just fucking stick to the bike lanes. I feel like you'll feel safer that way too.
You
like
would feel-
as the biker.
Everyone feels safer on the sidewalk. That's what it's for. It's for feeling
I'm saying
safe.
just make them stay in bike lanes. Like make bikers just use bike lanes only.
That's true. I mean, you could say that, but also then you're gonna get a whole bunch of fucking biking enthusiasts being like, "That's why we advocated for more bike lanes in our city," and then we were
It's
like,
okay,
"Hey,
cool.
dude,
Now go do them more realistically.
yeah, we don't have running water in our public schools, but yeah, let me get a fucking bike lane for Caleb in fucking Station North. Fuck you, dude. Get on this fucking sidewalk. Get on the sidewalk with your fucking unicycle.
Yeah, buy a car.
Pissing me
dude.
off."
Get a
That
car.
really pisses
Stop
me
being a
off.
bitch. Stop
Because that's-
giving excuses that you're doing it for exercise and it's fun. Shut up.
That's where you learn to bike. When I was a kid, I was on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
That's where
bikes
you
are
bike
for
when you're a kid.
kids.
They're for kids. First
Bikes
of all,
are for kids.
if you're a grown man and you're biking to work, it's not my fault. It's your fault. It's not my fault. I'm sorry. You take a bus. I get it. But now you're in my way. Like, if you want to bike to work, that's
Also,
fine.
no one wants you at that office smelling sweaty as shit.
You have a
Like,
shower at your
you
office?
have armpit stains when you clock in. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm not hating on people that bike to places. I'm just saying if you decide to do that, then you also have to acknowledge that you're in our zone. The roads were made for fucking cars, dude. I know they were originally made for like horse carriages and shit, but like if I saw a fucking horse carriage in front of me, it's not like I'm like, oh, geez.
Get on the
This-
sidewalk.
yeah, get on the sidewalk. But it's like you gotta adapt to the times, bro. Bikes are the way of the old, dude. Cars
Yeah.
are what roads are for. Cars are what roads are for. So take your ass on the sidewalk, and that's what that guy should have been teaching his kids. You should not be training your kids to be biking around in the middle of a road. I'm sorry. I get that, like, but also even if you were training them, like, well, Caleb Jr.
I completely forgot that this was what this like spun out of.
I'm on an entirely different.
Did you even hear anything from him? Did you stop?
No,
Did you just keep
he just
going?
kept pointing at me to get my window to go down, and I was like, "No, I'm not doing this right now, bro.
Yeah.
I already almost got in a fight 5 days ago for not wearing a mask. I'm not getting in a fight with you
Yeah.
about, making a U-turn.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Your kid is on training wheels in the middle of the street. I'm super cautious, but now you think I'm like suspicious or whatever, and I don't belong in your neighborhood, and it's like, dude, give me a fucking
Look,
break.
I don't.
And all,
I'm
yeah,
leaving.
I'm
I'm
leaving
leaving
your
right
neighbor.
now.
I'm trying to I'm trying to find the fastest fucking way out of here because I hate you people, and you're teaching your kids the wrong way. I'm probably not even like really actually right in this tangent right now. Like
No, fuck that guy.
I could see me listening to this tomorrow.
I
and
can see
being
that
like,
guy being an asshole and just being like pent up with his family and just like looking for a fight he can't get into because the bars are closed.
That's true. That's true. I could see that, and I guess it's not even that particular instance, and that's probably why I spun off into a whole new tangent, because it has always bugged me that bikers are in the middle of the fucking road, and I really do truly believe what I said before. I really do think it's dangerous, and yeah. So I think I wasn't even thinking about any of the shit I just said at the time. All I was thinking at the time was like what I was originally saying, which is I'm an adult. I don't have to stop for you. It's a weird feeling when you start to view yourself as equal and you don't feel the need to like be obedient to a person just because they look older than you. Like, well, this guy has a beard and he has kids, so I should probably listen to him. I don't have a beard or kids. But your kids are fucking generation. They should have been generation betas.
Yeah, for sure.
Those are generation betas born too soon.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Crumb reel.
I just know I'm going to listen to this segment in the morning and be like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, dude, I've been having some invaders in my garden plot.
Uh-oh. Rats.
Or bunnies or squirrels. I'm not sure yet.
Well, the second two are cute.
But I woke up the other day because I like transplanted all my peppers I was growing inside to outside. And I planted like 16 pepper plants. And there's like 4 of them where like the top got like chopped off. And I was like, God damn it. So I called my mom because anytime anything goes wrong in my life, I'm just like, Mom, what should I do? So she was like, just put, I was like, I think I'm going to put like containers over them until they get a little bigger. Like I just put like clear plastic cups over top of them and like made like little mini greenhouses over top of the plants. But she was also saying to like put like chili pepper on everything.
Ooh.
And that'll keep everything from eating it. So I've been doing that after
Did it work?
Yeah, it's been working so far.
So you put
And,
like actual full chili peppers on there, or you just put like
I put like chili
hot
powder.
sauce? Oh.
So I just like sprinkle powder over it. And then anytime it rains, I got to put more on. But it's only until they're like a couple inches tall. Anytime there's like new growth, my mom was saying like it's less bitter, so like animals are more likely to eat it. But once it gets older, it gets more bitter and they stop. But also there's like strawberries that my neighbor planted in that patch in a line that like some critters have been munching on. So hopefully that just keeps their attention away from my guys.
Also, maybe your neighbor's strawberries are what's drawing them in. Like, you ever think about that?
No. Well, I saw him today and he was saying he moved some of the stuff that was been munched on over somewhere else on like a plate. He's like, I'm trying to get them to just eat it off a plate and keep it away from our plants.
That is definitely something you got to come to your mom for, dude. I mean, what else are you going to go to, dude? Moms come in very crucial in those aspects of life. Myself, personally, I've never tried to grow any plants because I know what would be the outcome. But I have
A dead plant.
a dead plant with 0 critters on my balcony. Just 0 critters. Can't blame anyone else but myself. But my fish tank, dude, my mom was giving me all the down low on getting the fish tank going, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like,
You're
that's
an expert.
something you can only come to your mom for. You know, there's certain things that like,
I don't think I could go to my mom about a fish tank, but your mom is specifically good at fish tanks.
yeah, my mom is very fish tank specialized. Fish, plants. Well, I guess I don't really know how my mom is with plants. She has plants. I feel like every woman has like a base level of plant knowledge.
They
that
at
just-
least have like a window box of plants.
I think women have a baseline level of understanding how to take care of something that men don't. And so like if you or I decide to like take care of something, we have to like, I feel like if you give a girl a plant, they just figure it out.
Yeah, they
just
figure it
get
out,
it.
but like we
They
have
just
to
get
make it a routine and a habit or else the plant will just die.
You have to think about it.
Or you get like, you're just relegated. Dudes are relegated to just snake plants because they never die.
Exactly.
Every dude has a snake plant.
Dudes, snake plants, cacti. We love cactuses. I don't even like saying cacti. I'm getting rid of that word. Cactuses.
Any plant that IKEA sells is like dude approved.
Dude approved. Dude approved plants.
It's like they're real plants, but if you forget to water them for months at a time, it'll be okay.
You know what I don't want to become is a fake plant guy.
Yeah,
And,
that's the worst.
you can't
I
do
always,
that.
honestly, have you ever thought about being a fake Christmas tree person? Because I don't think I could ever be a fake Christmas tree person.
As a kid, we always had a real tree. my yaya, my grandmother, always had a fake one. And
Yeah, I feel like at a
just think it's
certain
wrong.
age, it's okay. Like, because I don't think like either of our grandparents should have had to put up a real Christmas tree. Like, that's just fucking torture.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
So to fucking like, and they do it like the old fashioned way. They go cut it down and have to drag it to their car and shit, just throwing out
78 years
every
old.
vertebrae in their back, ruining surgery after surgery, just busting new knees.
There's definitely a time in your life when you get to have the fake tree. I'll give you that.
But I
when
just
you're
mean,
our
like,
age,
yeah, our age and up
excuse.
till like, I'd say like mid 60s, late 60s.
I don't think
But
you
my parents are still going strong on live trees, but
Well, they should
they're like on the lower end of the 60s.
Here's what I think should be happening right now if I were to tell you how to live your life entirely based off of my judgment from the outside. Your parents, you personally, I don't even know what you do during Christmas, but me, I don't get a Christmas. Dom and I have talked about it every year.
Yeah, no.
we just never went out doing
I
it?
mean, like, I'm not going to get like a Christmas tree until I own a house, I think.
We haven't even gotten a fake one. Like, it's not like we didn't just get like a real one. We just didn't do anything. We just like, we put like we got the Santa Claus thing behind me that's there
Yeah.
all year round,
Yeah, yeah.
just in case we forget that it's Christmas.
I
It's always
have
there.
I have like a globe, like a Christmas ornament globe. over
Always
there.
relevant. And the globe is probably better.
Or it's not a globe, it's like a snow shaker thing, whatever
Yeah.
you call those.
I got all my holidays covered. I got the Halloween jack-o'-lantern over there, which I told my brother I would unplug it every night. He'd be like, why you keep on unplugging the jack-o'-lantern? And I was like, because it's going to fucking die, dude. And here we are. Fucking 1 month ago, that thing doesn't turn on
Dead
anymore because he leaves it on
jack-o'-lantern.
every fucking night. And now we got to get a new one.
You
But
also
whatever.
have the yellow M&M guy for M&M Day.
M&M Day. Yes. Memorial Day. The M&M guy is Memorial Day symbol. But what you should be doing as a single guy is nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, I
You
don't
don't need
think
anything
anything.
in your
Yeah.
apartment because no one's going to your apartment
To
for Christmas
celebrate the
festivity.
holiday. Yeah,
You're going
exactly.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
Once you get married and have kids, then you got to get the real tree. You take your kids out, you make a thing of it. You go there, you pick out your tree, you let the guy chop it down, you strap it to the car, you bring it home. It's fucking a hassle and a half. You put it up, you water it, it dies before Christmas. It's part of Christmas to do
Yeah.
that. And then
You
when you're-
leave half your ornaments on it by accident when you throw it out.
Exactly. Where's my kindergarten class of 97? But then that's when it gets into the next generation. Your parents right now, neither one of their kids has kids. So right now, you are all still going to their house for Christmas.
True.
Now that changes. So I think that it's your parents' job to maintain the Christmas tree, the real Christmas tree.
Make either me or my brother have a baby.
Then you or your brother has a baby. You start doing the real tree. Then your parents start getting the fake tree. And then it all revolves around. Then you wait till your kids have kids. You finally get to retire. And that's another reason I'm telling you got to have kids now. Because your parents
Dude, it
can't
sucks
do
because,
the real
like,
tree much longer.
I feel like I'm counting on my brother to have a kid for our parents, and my brother's counting on me to have a kid for our parents.
Neither one of you guys are looking too promising right now from the outside looking in. Neither
I just
are.
don't want to let them down, dude.
Well, you're going to have kids eventually. I just think your parents,
Eventually. But I just want them to be able to see it.
Dude, come on. Let's be real here. Your parents are what, 60 something?
Yeah, I know they're going to be around for a while.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good. It's more so just like my parents get on me that a lot.
I was
too,
just
like,
hoping my brother would fucking do it first.
I don't know, dude. I don't see that happening anytime soon. I would say you. I could see you accidentally having a kid right now.
No, I'm too cautious.
I could see Alex. I think I could see Alex like suddenly having a girlfriend and getting like. I guess because he's older, I could see that process moving faster. You know what I mean? Like I could see
True.
like him dating someone and then it being like a fairly quick thing to like getting married, because it would just make sense at that point. Like a year or two of dating, not like fucking 6 years of dating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So once you're fucking 32, it's like, dude, we like each other. We've been dating for 2 years. We're getting married. It's not like when you're 27, you're like, we like each other. We've been dating for X amount of years, and who fucking knows? You know?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but yeah, my parents ask me the same shit all the time. Like, when do you have a kid? It's like, Mom, come on, you know I'm not having a fucking kid right now.
Yeah.
I'm out here trying.
I don't think our parents have ever pressured that, but also it's a weird thing too, because we have so much family on both sides of my family. Like my mom has already, like in her retirement, like babysat a bunch of little babies during the day while their parents are at work.
So she's
I
ready.
think she's getting her like fix of it already.
Yeah.
So I don't think she's like too. She's not. She hasn't been very vocal, at least to me. I don't know about my brother, but like I don't want to speak for him, but like she has never even talked to me about that.
Well, I don't think it's
And
much
even
of
if
it
she
like
did, I'd be like, "Ooh, Mom, I don't want you to think
Yeah.
about me having sex."
Yeah, it's like, Jesus, you're just basically asking me to have sex right now.
Yeah, what the
which is
fuck?
weird. That's
It's
weird that
fucking
you're asking me to
weird.
do that.
Oh,
Why
come
are you,
on.
Eric? Why aren't you having enough sex? Like, come on, Mom, Jesus, it's Christmas.
Jesus Christ.
But I think ultimately it is that I think our moms have a need to nurture and take care of something, and so right now my mom is very motherly to me, even at my age right now. Like I can still see how she's like very much my mom.
Oh yeah, for sure. Same here.
But like the second
With your
I feel
mom
like I
to me.
Yeah, exactly. My mom just, because I don't have any kids, she's now taking care of my friends too. But I feel like once I have a kid, then that completely shifts, because now my mom is focused on my kid. You know?
Yeah.
So I feel like in your mom's eyes, you don't become an adult until you have a kid. If I could sum up this conversation,
Yeah.
if I could.
Please.
This is an unsummarizable
Please,
conversation
sum it up,
right now.
dude. Basically, what I'm trying to say is just leave your fucking holiday decorations up all year long.
All year long, have a kid now or 15 years from now, unless you want your kid to be a beta. And
If you
stay
want your
the
kid
fuck
to be
out of the road if
cool
you're biking.
or retarded, have it one now or in 15 years.
Fucking classic, dude.
Oh man. I was just fucking I know you always have stuff going on because you're out a lot, but I don't really go out too much with the pandemic and everything going on. But I've been gaming a lot. I beat a game called A Hat in Time. And it's
Nice.
basically like, I was following it on Kickstarter a while ago, but I never actually played it. But it was basically just like someone wanted to make like a Super Mario 64 using today's graphics, and they just like made a whole new universe. It was like basically like a 3D platformer. It wasn't
Was
like exactly like Super Mario, but like
Did it still look cartoonish, or did it look like live action?
it was very cartoony. It was about like this alien girl who like crashed her spaceship, and she had to like collect all the pieces of her spaceship to go back home. It was very fun. I had a good time playing it.
You beat it?
I beat it.
Nice.
I
Dude.
played, dude.
Nice.
I started playing it the other day, and like I forget when I started playing it, but like I went to bed at like 6 a.m. that day. Because it was so much fun. and when I woke up the next day, I was like, I wonder how long I played that. And I looked at like my whatever statistics, and it was like last played at 6 a.m. yesterday. Total amount played 7 hours. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Apparently, I just ate dinner, sat down, and played that till I went to bed. And
I mean, what else are you gonna do, dude?
nothing. I went to the store. They had a bunch. They're starting to get a lot of stuff at the stores.
Yeah,
Like,
stores
they
are
had-
over it.
Yeah, I got like vinegar the other day. I wasn't able to find vinegar all quarantine, and like I only had a little bit
Why?
left because I wanted to
why?
make pickles. I wanted to
No,
make
I mean,
like,
no. Why couldn't you find vinegar? Is what I'm saying. Like,
because
not
people
you
were
personally.
like people freaked out and
Bought
bought
vinegar.
vinegar because people make homemade quacky fucking cleaners with vinegar. They make fucking like home remedy Windex and shit with vinegar. So people bought all that because alcohol was sold out. So they're like, well, this is the next best thing, I guess.
Jesus.
But now I got vinegar, so I can make pickles.
Nice.
Like
Meanwhile,
pickled
the whole time
jalapenos
pickles
and
were
shit.
never out of stock.
Yeah, no. Well, I don't like. The weird thing is, like, I don't really like regular pickles, but like when I make them, like because I made it, like I think I like it. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of like weird food things that like until I understood how to make it and like what the ingredients were, I was like less grossed out by it.
Yeah.
Because there's just some food where there's like a weird texture in it or a weird taste that like you can't put your finger on and it like wigs you out.
True. I tell you, dude, I really came to that revelation when I started understanding what tartar sauce is, dude. Tartar sauce kind of blew my mind.
What is
It's
it, like
mainly-
horseradish and mayonnaise?
Maybe. I don't know. But I know there's a lot of dill in it.
Okay.
I know there's a lot of dill weed in it. And I didn't even know what dill was.
Little
I knew it
herb.
was the name of the kid on Rugrats. And also, you could call someone a dill weed as like an insult.
Dill
if you're a
pickle.
Gen Xer. But like other than dill pickle, yeah, dill pickle. But actually, you might
the
be right.
name of the
'cause-
baby and also
no,
the
you know what it
pickle?
is, dude? It's relish and mayo, not horseradish and mayo.
Oh.
I
For
don't know. I'm
tartar
just-
sauce?
yeah, I think so.
I don't know if that's right.
It's definitely not horseradish and mayo. That's horsey
Relish is-
sauce. You're thinking of horsey sauce.
Relish is so green, I feel like it would tint the tartar sauce towards green.
I feel like what you're thinking of right now, horseradish. Okay, so horseradish and ketchup is cocktail sauce.
That's cocktail sauce.
Horseradish and mayo, I thought
Is
was
horsey sauce.
Horsey sauce, which is like a Maryland thing. I almost feel like.
That's like an Arby's thing.
Yeah, it's the Arby's, thing, which is Maryland. Everybody knows it.
Maryland,
Arby's,
baby.
Maryland. You're thinking Arby's? No, you're thinking Maryland, baby. But mayo and relish, that
'Cause
might not
tartar
be a
sauce
thing.
is also a seafood thing, isn't
Yes.
it?
Yeah, and you can put it on your crab cake sandwich. And when I first had a crab cake sandwich with tartar sauce on it, I thought it was very white trash. I was like, who the fuck puts tartar sauce on their crab cake? But then I realized it's actually fucking delicious. And it's the best sauce to put on your crab cake.
Siri, what is tartar sauce made out of?
Tartar sauce is made up of pickled cucumber, tarragon, caper, parsley, chervil, chili pepper, chives, and mayonnaise.
Okay. So
Pickled
yeah,
cucumber is
it
relish.
is. Yeah, that's relish.
Didn't say dill in that though.
It
But dill
yeah, it had
pickles, though.
Parsley and capers. Capers is weird to me. Aren't capers like caviar almost, or what are capers?
Capers are a kind of, I think they're in the same family as olives almost. They're a fruit, I think.
Really
Yeah.
Interesting. I thought
they
they were
never
like
expire.
seafood somehow.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's always served with seafood, so
It's
I
always
just
served-
assumed it can't. I thought it was like, you know how like mustard and crabs,
Yeah.
it's not real mustard. I just
Mustard
thought
is seafood.
capers were like fucking the shit that was in there with the eggs. And just like fucking miscarried crab eggs or fish eggs that were fucking served
Nah,
up
dude.
next to it.
Capers are a type of fruit, I'm pretty sure, and I know that because I had my lox bagel with light capers today
Yeah.
because it was seafood.
Yeah. Well, also I think it tricks me because they're like wet. You get them out in the same way that you would get caviar out.
It's wet, so it's like that's water. That's seafood.
Yeah. Just like pickles and
These came from the
pickles, they're
sea.
sea cucumbers. Like the fucking the jellyfishermen.
Capers are an underrated. Well, that's the thing. They're not really underrated fruits at all because no one even knows they're fruits. They are fruits. I don't know that for a fact, but I would be willing to bet that it's true. And they only go literally on like caviar, which no one ever eats. No one eats caviar. Have you ever had caviar in your life?
No, it freaks me out too much.
Have you had the opportunity to have caviar?
Yeah. I've seen it at places.
I don't
Like
even know if I
I've
ever
worked enough
presented with it.
events where it's like it's there, you know.
I don't understand the appeal. It's like it's whale eggs, right? Or like
No, it's
What is-
fish eggs. Whale eggs. Whales are mammals, dude. They don't even have eggs.
you're right. Capers are whale eggs. Caviar.
No, caviar. Well, like caviar, and then sometimes if it's like a specific fish, it'll be like a salmon roe. If it's like salmon eggs, but I think caviar is just like a certain type of fish egg. That's I don't know if it's preserved even. Like I just think it's canned for the most part.
That's one of those foods that I just feel like isn't actually good. It's just the fact that you're
it's
eating
like a
it.
status thing.
It's like, oh, I got caviar at my event. It's like, dude, but nobody likes this. Like, I'm eating Tostitos scoops with queso dip, and it's way better than this caviar. I would have
like, I wish
a
you had
million
bagel
Tostitos.
Bites. Like
Yeah.
I wish you had bagel bites.
If you had
instead of caviar.
Totino's bagel bites, I would prefer that to this caviar. This caviar is like $25 per teaspoon.
Yeah.
And I don't even like
You could
it.
have had a Red Baron pizza, and I would have eaten more of that than this caviar.
Caviar is literally like when I went to that nightclub in LA, and the whole point of going to that nightclub was literally just to be able to say that you went to that nightclub. Because the nightclub itself was not fun. You had to wait an entire drink's worth of time to get your next drink. So you basically, if you were planning on drinking at the place, you had to wait at the bar the entire time. Because by the time you got your first drink, you needed to start thinking about ordering your next drink, or else you were going to go fucking dry for the next hour. And like, it wasn't fun, but it was all about just the fact that you were there and could say that you got in and you knew somebody. And I think that's what caviar is. Caviar is not good. It's not a good food. But nobody wants to say, yeah, I went to Jimmy's party and he had a bunch of fucking chips and queso, because that doesn't sound cool. You went to Jimmy's party, he had caviar. He had
Yeah,
fucking
caviar, champagne,
hors d'oeuvres. What's an hors d'oeuvre?
Yeah,
Just an
hors
appetizer.
d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvre. This is just an appetizer, which is a big word in and of itself.
Dude,
Should just be called snacks.
white people flourished when they discovered the term hors d'oeuvre.
They did. That's really when we kind of like made everything happen, I would say.
No, that was like a Karen party trick.
Yes.
That was just
have
like something up their
d'oeuvres.
sleeve to be like, ooh, but this is fancy.
You know what my party trick's going to be when I have parties, dude? I'm going to get a fucking clown. I think that would be cooler. I think that if you left my party and you were telling your friend about my party weeks later, oh, how was Jimmy's party? And you'd be like, oh, yeah, well, Phil's party had caviar. And he'd be like, oh, yeah, well, Jimmy's party had a fucking clown. And they'd be like, oh, was it like a kid's party? Was there like kids there? Was he making balloons? No, it's just a fucking clown, dude. He had it walking around. He was doing like the fucking burp, 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 burp. Yeah, doing like zonky shit.
Zonky.
Zany.
Yeah. My dream was to always have like a swag bag at a party.
Swag
To like
bag.
just give everyone like an iPod shuffle at the end of the night.
Dude, that would be sick. When you can start providing swag bags for your events, that's when you know you fucking made it, bro. That's when you know. I definitely at the very least want to get a magician.
That's when you wake up and know you're an adult.
You're like, dude, I just bought an iPhone shuffle for millions of people. Tens of people. My best friends.
Tens of
Myself.
tens of fives of people.
At least get a magician. Clowns are kind of like a combination magician, comedian, and some other thing I can't think of. But like there's a lot of magic with clowns. Like clowns do magic, but we don't ever think of them as magicians, you know? But like the stuff they do is magical.
Yeah.
You know, like they like do things and you're like,
Yeah,
how
how
do
did
you
they
do
all fit in that car?
that? Yeah, how did they get in that car? How did he pull all those things out of that thing? It was funny.
How did he
yes.
swallow that axe?
It was funny, but that wasn't the main thing. What was the
it
main
was
thing?
hilarious.
It was
when
hilarious,
he beat his nose
but also
in front
it
of
was
that lion.
unbelievable that he did that. It's the main thing.
The nerve.
This rodeo clown that evaded this bull hilarious, yes, but also unbelievable. I think clowns are more unbelievable than they are funny because I can't believe clowns. I can't believe that they exist, and I can't imagine. I've never met a clown. I've never met one. I don't know if they. I've never like talked to a guy at a bar.
We're not near a clown school.
That's true. Not a big clown town, Baltimore.
Yeah.
Not a lot of clowns. I've never been sitting at the bar and be like, "So what do you do?" He was like, "Well, actually, I'm a clown." Oh, really? What does that pay? You wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because I've met like, I think I've even met like a suicide girl in Baltimore, but I've never met a clown.
You mean like a roller derby chick? That's what I imagine
No,
suicide girls
like
are.
a real suicide girl,
What are they? Like a Joker, like a
one
Harlequin?
of those like porn stars.
Oh, that's cool. You met a porn star?
Yeah, it was at they were at like a Wits End open mic for some reason. I don't know why.
Nice. I guess I would rather meet a porn star than a clown, but it's a toss up. I mean, I don't. It's just like I believe in like I know porn stars exist because like obviously they exist, but like, and I've met girls like it's kind of like a fine line because it's like if you I feel like having an OnlyFans account is like borderline porn starish, right? It's kind of porn starish, So like I know a million girls that do that. I wouldn't be amazed if I met a girl at a bar and she was like, "Yeah, I get paid to have sex." I'd be like, "Damn, that's awesome. How much?" But like,
Oh, I got something to tell you after the podcast. So remind me.
oh, sick. I will.
And
Good,
we can
'cause
also
I-
wrap up soon, honestly.
Yeah, we
we've been
can,
going
dude.
for
I don't
like
know.
2 hours or something.
Yeah, we've gone on long enough.
I know. And we barely even talked about what we did this week, other than you almost getting in a fight with a dad
Yeah,
and our Memorial Days.
Yeah, our Memorial Days, which is crazy.
Definitely happened today.
Definitely happened this week. But I told you about the Spotify thing, which is still. I know there's tons of sophomore Spotify listeners that are just on the edge of their fucking
Confused.
seats. Confused. What happened? I was just as confused as you were when I saw I had somebody listening. Was thrown for a loop. But yeah, fuck it. Individual plugs, Jimmy Selesky on everything. I had a tweet this week, get a bunch of likes, and that's like a big highlight of my week. It was a reply to another tweet. If you want to get famous on Twitter, first of all, don't listen to my advice because I'm not famous on Twitter.
Be a
But what
reply guy.
I'm a reply guy. You got to be a reply guy. You got to find a tweet that you know is going to blow up because anything on Twitter that is like super simple, super dumb, and super not like a coherent, actual good argument, but like it sounds cool, those tweets will blow up. So if you see a tweet with like 1,000 or 2,000 likes, just say something on it. Just say something and try to make it like funny or compelling or anything. I commented something on a tweet about Flint, Michigan with the water situation, and I just said something. It's pretty dope, not gonna lie. And at the time that I said it, it had like 8,000 likes. But then over the course of the day, it got up to like 340,000 likes. So then my tweet got a whopping like 80.
Nice.
Not 80,000, just 80.
Hell yeah.
80 period. But if you're me, that's a lot. So do that. At Jimmy Selesky on Twitter. I have a tweet get above 3 likes once every 8 months.
Hell yeah. At Eric Glazer on everything. And at LFTS Podcast on everything, guys. Go ahead and follow that on anything.
Including TikTok. I'm going to
Soon
sit on the
to be
TikTok
on
page.
TikTok.
Yeah. Just sit on it. Follow us. We might eventually put something out on there just because. Might do an Alex Glazer collab.
Nice. And yeah, we stream every Monday at 8 o'clock on Facebook. So go ahead and tune into that if you want. We're still trying to grow that out. Some of you guys that listen to the regular podcast, there's like a lot of you. Just
Yeah.
fucking go to the fucking live stream.
Yeah, it's the same
okay.
podcast.
It's the
but we
same
do it
shit.
live.
You get to see it first.
Yeah. You comment
And
on it?
yeah, we're in there. We're in the chat. We're watching. We're doing it live.
Yeah. I was super happy last week because, well, it was like kind of like a bittersweet moment because last week I tried to do the live stream, but our internet connection wasn't working. And I figured like, oh, nobody cares, you know, we'll just do it tomorrow, you know? And, but then I got a message from somebody being like, yeah, what the fuck? Where's the live stream at? And I was like, I didn't know anybody even knew that we did this. So that was cool. And so, you know, it's nice. Every Monday at 8, even if it's Memorial Day.
Yeah.
We'll be here
No
on Labor Day,
breaks.
bitch.
No breaks unless the internet's not working.
Unless that. But yeah, LFTS podcast on everything, guys. Till next week.
Peace.
Peace.